death.
Yeah,
more.
We have one more set of diamonds, right? So we're fine. We're covered.
Great.
We're good. We're good on that front. As a little recap, in case you somehow forgot, we defeated Yeska last session. You guys successfully vanquished one of the villains that had kind of been looming over your heads for a long time. Kind of has been more behind the scenes than up in your face, orchestrating things with her various kind of organizations that she was in control of. You've been dealing with like the ring and her influence on it for a while. You've been dealing with her influence in Ravenhall Academy. But as she has now been vanquished and Suli has been reunited with Suma, you guys pass through a doorway opened by Robin Goodfellow out of the labyrinth and into somewhere else. The five of you now, walk in a long white hallway filled with mist. Time and space here shift and distort, and you feel now and again that your body almost turns into a thick liquid that droops and spills, and whoosh, the feeling is gone, and you're stabilized and you're you again, though with the uncanny feeling that maybe something or another has changed somewhat. Light fills this liminal space, not from any discernible source, not with any clue whether or not it's day or night, just a soft diffraction through the thin, wispy mist that obscures whatever may lie beyond the path that you walk. It clears in spots here and there, but as you try and peer through the gaps to see, you glimpse only a pale nothingness. And then, almost indiscernibly, as you are walking and walking, something changes. A flickering in your hearts, like a candle braving a gale, which grows and grows and grows and bursts so hot you can hardly contain it. A potential, a will, a whimsy that creeps in through your skin, your pores, and fills you with an effervescent light. I would like to go around and just ask each of you, how are you feeling right now? And anyone can start if they like.
I think I'm feeling unsettled.
Unsettled.
Yeah.
What are you unsettled by?
As much as Ruby doesn't like, mining and the earth and I do with Leia, she's always been used to having 2 feet on the ground, and this is very not that. And so she just knows she doesn't like it. I think not much beyond that.
Ruby, as you find yourself thinking that, you feel suddenly underneath your boots the crunch of rough gravel. Beneath you, the plain whiteness. I couldn't even really call it a floor because it isn't really. It suddenly transforms, and all of a sudden, there is ground beneath your feet. And it kind of spreads out in a line, kind of following the trail of the path you are meant to be walking on. It is dark in color, very similar almost to the streets in your hometown of Copra. All this happens and you all notice it, but I think each of you are feeling something else. Who would like to go next?
Because I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think in this moment, everything feels very dreamlike for Suma, not just because of partly because of the surroundings, but also, he's walking with his friends who he's been traveling with for quite a while now, but then there's also this other part of his life Suli, who's walking with them, and I think he just like everything has happened so much. There's so much has gone on that I think it's almost just like it's trance like. He just glances at her like every so often just to make sure she's like still there.
Yeah.
Having kind of a like Orpheus and Eurydice kind of feeling, if you could describe it that way.
I think as Suma ruminates on this feeling, the sky overhead, the mist clears above you, and you see that the sky is painted in a effusive light, like an aurora borealis type effect that is overlaid over a night sky. Just like how you are feeling, it is strange, ethereal, and dreamlike, shifting and moving through the spectrum of colors all around you, reflecting off of the scant starlight that comes in from above. The air itself starts to feel strange. You feel the wind kind of dancing on your skin, otherworldly, and but not unwelcome. Alok and Gallet, how are you feeling?
I recently just died.
Indeed.
Bad. But also, hey, everyone's alive and we got Suma's kid, so that's also good. And it's been in such like a short 1-to-1 time, and now we're doing this. It's like I feel good, but not all here. A sort of an out of body experience. Like I'm doing fine, but I'm just aloof, not really here.
Yeah. Gallet, as you are feeling this way, you feel gravity itself shift and dislodge. You feel every step kind of like springs you up a little higher. It's not as drastic as like how it was in your fight with Yesko, where like a single leap can carry you way into the air, but every step feels airy, like the ground from Ruby's emotions are still underneath you. You still bounce up off of it, but everything kind of feels light. Your hair kind of floats in the air a little bit and stays suspended as it comes back down with each step. No like kind of environmental, physical thing you can see has changed, but gravity itself seems to be like you, a little bit out of body, a little bit not itself. Alok, how are you feeling?
So, I died recently. It was pretty cool, actually. I feel
Yes, you did, on top of a sphinx.
Yeah, there's some other things going on too. I mean, overall, pretty good. The death part didn't suck too much. Everything else was pretty good. We killed the Yeska person. So overall, he actually feels pretty good. And I think, I mean, even as a party of people, we have known we were going to the Feywild for a while, and he's been looking forward to it because he's read stories, and to be coming here, he's excited. He seems a lot more energetic than normal.
It's interesting that you say that. Just from Alok's perspective, what kind of stories do you think Alok would have heard, or at least of the ones he's heard, what are the ones that like capture his imagination? Like, what does Alok think he's going to see?
Okay. See, I like the idea that maybe he would really just latch onto the good and not really read a lot about the bad. But he's a studied guy. I feel like he'd probably read it all. He knows that there's bad, but he's like, but the good is really good. So like that's what he focuses on. But he knows there's bad.
Okay. Then I think like to the sides of, so you have Ruby's kind of like dirt road, gravelly road. Off to the side of it, like big honk and mushrooms sprout up on both sides, kind of like in your periphery, and you can spy like little will-o'-the-wisps, like little glowing orbs of light that like playfully frolic on the mushrooms. They're like using them as trampolines and bounce from one to another, and they're kind of singing They're like, "We're lights of the Feywild," ooh, and like singing and harmonizing together. And they're like, "Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're gonna have a good time." And you hear that, and this does not seem out of character. I think from Alok's perspective, perhaps. As you guys walk along, though, so all these things kind of happen one by one, but also a bit instantaneously. Sort of each person notices their thing first. Where Suma, Alok, you see the lights first, and then Ruby, you notice that there's ground underneath you again, and Gallet, you notice your steps a little airy. Suma, you see the lights above you of the Aurora Borealis, and Suma, as you are walking, you feel a pressure in your hand. Suli has, kind of squeezed it sort of absent-mindedly, and you look at her, and there's like a smile on her face, a genuine one, a lightness in her eyes that sort of offsets the exhaustion of the trial she's undergone these past few months. To the sides of the path, kind of like snaking between where the mushrooms are, you see wild grass grows that sway in sort of an easy breeze that washes down the path. And you see peeking out from the tops of the blades these large, fat flowers is the only thing I can. You ever see a sunflower and you're like, that one's fucking plump. Like that one's like the seeds on this one are gonna go crazy. They're almost like like sunflower looking blooms, kind of in a plethora of watercolor hues, like the art that was there in her little cottage. Each of these flowers resplendent with like a faint light, each of them puffing out a cloud of pollen with the scent of nature blooming, the aroma, for some reason, of fresh baked sweets at the bakery just down the way, the one that you've taken her to before. It smells like everything you crave. It's almost like everything that comforts you. I'd like all of you to give me a little wisdom saving throw.
What?
Oh, lovely.
This was fun time.
No,
It
this
is.
is fine. I didn't say it was bad.
Oh, okay, this is fun. Wow.
I didn't say it was
We're
bad.
having fun. We're having fun.
We actually are.
So all of you except Ruby. Ruby, this is what you watch. You watch Alok, Suma, and Gallet begin to kind of shoulders kind of coming up, and the three of you, including Suli, actually, you feel a little giggle start in the back of your throat, and before you know it, it kind of like overwhelms you, and you're like hooting and hollering, laughing like you've never laughed before, like the gut ripping, knee slapping laugh of 1,000 drunken nights at the tavern. And you feel like just like a weight slough off your shoulders that kind of like falls away, and it doesn't hit the ground with a thud or a crash, but with the shimmering laughter that pours from your lips. Joy floods your minds. Not a sickly, insidious joy, not the kind that is like drowning out a lurking darkness, not like sugar dripped into poison, but the pure, warm joy. The kind that has become, I think, harder and harder to find the longer your journeys have gone on. Ruby, you just watch them suddenly bust out laughing, and like, I don't know, one of you might be rolling on the ground. I think Suli's probably like kind of like on her knees, like kind of hand covering her face, laughing so hard. What does Ruby think in this moment, just out of curiosity?
I'm like, did I do something? Did my armor toot again? I'm like, what is going on?
Such a kidder.
The word toot just sends us into
that takes it over the edge.
Yeah.
As you kind of like, as this feeling overcomes you, you kind of come to understand that you've crossed now from one place to another, from a labyrinth of violence and pain to a place of mirth and laughter. This is the Feywild, and there is no room for troubles here. You see Suli kind of like looks around, kind of like the high of that comes down. She's finally free from the laughter. She's wiping a tear. She goes, "Father, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. I just suddenly felt so light. Is this what the Feywild is always like?"
Tuma tries to stop laughing about Toots and is somewhat successful, maybe not fully successful. I don't know. I've never been. I guess we'll just have to explore it together, shall we?
I'm very excited for that. And you see she looks at all of you and she says, "Honestly, this doesn't even feel real. It feels like I've awoken from a nightmare just to slip into a dream."
In a way, that's kind of what happened.
Don't get too excited though.
Anyway.
It's not a great dream for the most part. I mean, it can be. It depends.
For
It's not
now, I think we should embrace it. I think we need this.
Alok, as you say that, you see Sully gives you kind of like a look. She's looking at something, studying you almost. And she approaches you, but almost like catches herself, like almost like walks towards you in a weird trance, but then stops. She goes, "You seem, I don't know why, but you seem to me like you'd be rather well read. Do you know a bit more about the Feywild?"
A little bit. I mean, it wasn't the thing I focused on the most by any means, but I read
Yeah,
it.
Alok, give me a history check. We'll say with advantage. To recall some of what you've read. Oh, okay. On a nat 20, you know that the Feywild is a place not entirely bound by the laws of reality at all, and that something extremely notable about it, something that is happening here in this moment, is that the surroundings of it are extremely influenced by strong emotions. So you guys have been coming off of a really, dangerous and deadly battle. You guys have been through the ringer, in the last couple of days. You've witnessed a lot, you've done a lot, you've gone through a lot of combat, a lot of fighting, a lot of pain, and all of your mixed emotions of like, okay, out of the frying pan into what now? It's kind of like coalescing to form where you are at the moment. You don't know exactly like whose feelings are creating what thing, but you understand that the picture you see before you of a gravelly dirt road surrounded by mushrooms, tall grass, and flowers where gravity is weak, and the aurora borealis shines from above. This is an amalgamation of how everyone is feeling right now.
Okay. Yeah. Currently, everything that we're seeing is kind of being catered to the group as a whole, based on our emotions. Not really sure who's making what, but in one way, shape, or form, we're all creating this together.
You hear a voice from far behind you, followed by a panting, and you see Robin Goodfellow appears with Boror in tow.
Hey, that's my guy.
You see he's not riding Boror, they're not cool like that, but they're kind of like walking side by side. And you see Robin says, "Indeed, here the ground is known to change. Here the normal laws are strange. The sea, the skies, the earth itself may shift according to the self. Emotion rules above the rest. So wear yourselves to stay abreast of what and how it is you feel, for what you feel may soon be real." And you see Boror goes, "Boror!"
Since our mental state affects our environment, can there be just like a little like firework? Because I'm always just impressed.
Yeah, you clap a little comes before you, and you see Boror kind of like rumbles up to you. He's still very big, by the
Oh,
way.
that's my boy. That's
And
my
he just
boy.
like licks you with like a tongue that's as big as your face. He kind of just goes like that. And kind of like sniffs at you, or like nuzzles against you a little bit.
Oh.
And you see Robin Goodfellow says, "Well, it seems we are finally here at the destined place. Though it has been one long, arduous chase, you and your daughter are reunited. But now a different flame is ignited. Look beyond, right over yonder. Look at the wood, observe and ponder." You look down and you see sort of at the far end of the path, almost out of sight, there is a large and sprawling wood ahead of you. Like the trees at the end of the path are like unnaturally curved like this, not just like curved and they meet in the middle. Like one tree goes all the way like in a U and the other tree goes behind it in a U, like that, kind of like a tunnel that is formed by like trees kind of bending backwards. And you see that it forms this archway that kind of glimmers. Its threshold sort of a silvery pane of like swirling air and energy. Before you know it, though, you are not fully conscious of like taking steps. It's almost like the path moves underneath you to take you up to this archway. And you see Robin continues. He says, "Beyond, you'll reach your destination, a place of warmth and pure elation. Yes, the lands of endless summer, where not a thing's a frickin' bummer. There Queen Titania reigns, o'er the woods and o'er the plains, over the valleys and mountains too. She, the queen of what's good and true. Yet though I wish to follow on, I must away, I must be gone, for there my master has no sway, not in the realm of the Seelie Fae. The time will come when he'll be seen, but first you've got to meet the queen. I understand that you owe a favor, though I do not know what kind or flavor. You guys
No,
owe a favor.
in character. I haven't been told yet. What?
You don't know that yet. That's so
I also
true.
don't know.
Oh, that's right.
Robin
Ruby
continues,
and I knew.
Though you do not know the kind or flavor, try at least to have some manners. Mind your speech, brush up your glamours. The queen is fair, yet please have heed. Her strength is frightening indeed. Do your best to not offend, and if you do, go seek amends. I know not what her quest entails, but I believe that you will prevail. And when your travels come to end, that is when you'll meet my friend." And he kind of like steps back and kind of like sweeps his arm to like escort you through the archway. You may take this time if you like to talk about what the fuck he's talking about a favor or a quest or whatever.
Ruby,
I
I know
like
you
that
did
first.
something. Of all people, it must have been you, Ruby.
Excuse me. I could just as easily take back the life I gave you.
Oh well, hold on.
Oh my goodness.
You know what?
That's so I brought you back to this world. I can take you out.
Okay. You know what? That's fair. I'll blame someone else.
Why don't you
Suma?
ever think of Saylock?
What, me?
Alok's in his
not
journal right now. He's just drawing.
done anything.
Good boy, Alok.
Now is
Making
not the
a
time to
deal
journal.
without my knowledge. Good boy, Alok. Not Alok.
It was
Lucky
actually
lads.
I did not. I was hesitant to take this deal, but he was all for it. So
Well, isn't nobody, but like,
Mm.
technically, it doesn't make me a bad person. Yeah, they don't really understand the circumstance, but
Okay, so what's the deal? What was the deal?
So we kind of had no choice because we had to get another spider egg while we were
Oh.
there. And to get that, we had to make a deal with them. And because there was just no other way we could have gotten one, and it was like, in the moment. So we had to say, hey, well, we owe Titania one favor, whatever it may be. Within
What happened
reason.
to the first
I don't know if the
spider
within
egg?
reason part.
You know what? I think we're done pointing fingers at everyone.
Well,
I
Interesting.
was,
We're a
I'll
team,
take that, I
god
guess.
dang it. We're a family. Let's
we
look past it.
lost it. Yeah. Just rolled right under the bus.
I don't recall losing it. It was my egg, and Alok was coming to give it to me. Somebody decided.
I feel like we don't even bring this up.
Who could?
Maybe
Everything was crazy
Oh,
back
I mean,
there.
Hey,
We've all done things.
We're
It's not a
all
bad
happy.
thing.
We all got what we wanted.
I guess
So
it
let's.
doesn't really...
I've never
Yeah, it
attacked
doesn't
you guys,
matter.
know.
It doesn't matter in the end, really.
I thought, I'll tell you later, Suma. Transparency.
Okay, I will. Yeah, we'll talk. But we're here now, so I guess a favor for Titania, huh? That's pretty big.
Yeah, so my
Well, it could
gift
be.
plan's not gonna be going the best
It's
since I haven't had
probably
any
gonna
time
be
to work on the
cool.
land.
See, like,
I still have the land, but it's
Yeah,
not gonna work
I
well.
don't really know how this favor's gonna work, because, like, I said just now, like, a favor within reason, but I don't actually know if it's within reason. I don't know if that was part of it. I think it's not gonna be something crazy, like, where we have to kill each other, but, like...
Well,
not-
I mean,
I don't think she's like that.
favors
Yeah.
they only go so far, I imagine. Like,
Well,
destroy the world. You could technically say that's a favor, but like, I feel like that's really pushing the boundaries of favor.
Well, it's a fae. So, it depends.
It's a
Especially,
fae,
it's a very
sure.
powerful fae at that, so... I wouldn't really
I
hold
bet
on to
she's
expectations.
just gonna ask us for something that's like pertinent to what we got. So we got an egg, so maybe something with a chop. Maybe we give one of our children
Oh, okay.
away.
Well, that was...
It could be. It could be something light.
Hang on.
You want...
now hold your horses, Gallet.
Well, hold on. We don't know. I mean, there might be more children abound.
Maybe she'll just ask us to hang out for an hour.
Are there?
at
Do
dinner
you
party.
know something that I don't know?
We could adopt. And then give away.
Do you have children? Sue says, do you have children?
Well, no, but
Are
I'm
you,
just
are you
saying-
also a father?
No, but what I could
Is that
be.
why you all get along so well?
Suma's
I
like
was-
everyone's father, honestly.
Yeah, Suma's. Yeah, that's. Yeah, but
I mean, a lot of people we meet seem to call him daddy. I don't know why. I'm assuming it's for the same reason.
I knew this was going to happen sooner or later. Well, we should, I don't know if this is out of line, but I think we should all get some rest. I think we're a bit punchy.
You're really pushing it to Suma. I don't know if you can really make a decision like that. I might be bleeding over here, but we have a mission for gosh darn sake.
I mean, does
Are you
Titania
gonna?
expect
Are
us
you go?
today?
Are you going to ask us to sleep on the ground?
Maybe it would be good for building character, is all I'm saying.
That's silly.
This grass, this is the softest grass I've ever touched.
How soft is grass?
We definitely need a rest. But the longer we spend in the Feywild, the longer we risk exposing ourselves to literally anything. I can't even pin on what could happen.
Really? Like what?
Literally anything. You don't know what whimsy you might encounter in the Feywild, which, although I am actually excited to experience it, at the same time I know it could be life-threatening or altering in some way. So,
Alok, there is something that bristles in the back of your mind. Something that you definitely are aware of from that Nat 20 history check on your readings on the Feywild. You are very acutely aware that as exciting as it is to be here, that time flows very differently here in the Feywild compared to the outside world, the material plane. You're aware that whether you spend 3 days here or a week here, either 5 seconds will have passed on the outside and you will emerge to like the chaos of whatever happened in the wake of that battle, or months could pass. I'm not sure. Do you choose to say that, or do you sort of like keep that kind of like try to keep morale up by not suggesting that might happen?
yeah, I'm probably not going to mention it until like later, maybe just to Sumo or Gallet.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was wondering if I might know that too, because I as a player knew that,
Yeah.
but I don't know if Sumo would know that.
Yeah, I mean, you can go ahead and give me history as well to see how much you've read up on the Feywild.
Sure. Not like
Ooh.
that much. You'd think because I live in the Far Isles I would know a bit more, but I guess not.
Yeah, I think
I'm in a
maybe
state.
I think you know. I almost want to put it like you're aware of it, but in this moment you're with your daughter and you
Right,
kind
I'm
of
not thinking about it.
you're kind of not thinking
consciously.
about it. You're like
Right.
almost if the thought did arise, you'd be like, well, whenever we come back out, I have my daughter.
Mhm.
And that was, that was the whole thing. So yeah, do you guys choose to kind of like hunker down right here in front of this archway, or do you want to like go through and then sleep on the other side, or what are you up to?
Is Boror still here?
Boror.
Hey, Boror, I cast speak with them. How far away is like the nearest city?
Well, Boror does not know exactly where we will emerge on the other side of this archway. However, I do think that we will emerge somewhere in the Summerwood, which is nearby to the Tanya's castle. Not adjacent, but I imagine we'd only have to sort of... There probably would be only 1 or 2 settlements along the way before we'd reach the heart of her domain. The Summerwood knows the intent of whomsoever enters it, and if their desire is to meet with the Queen, then the Feywild itself will shift the terrain such that the journey will be reasonable and straightforward.
And if the intent was we want to sleep in beds in a nice place?
Boror thinks that this would happen here. Although, in the Feywild, it is true that emotions rule, but you must understand that there are many creatures within the Feywild, each of which have their own wills that influence the environment. The less people are around you, the more you can dictate with your wants and wishes what it is that surrounds you. Meaning that, like, if you were in the middle of the wood and there's like a bunch of other little spirits there, like satyrs or like, like mushrooms, sentient mushrooms or whatever, all of their stuff is like background noise that would kind of like dampen your ability to influence it, unless you were having a really, really strong emotion. But the reason why you guys are able to influence so much in this liminal space leading there is because you guys are really the only people here right now.
Okay, so we should take a nap here. That's
Let's
what
think
I'm
of
getting.
a treehouse.
Oh yeah, well, everyone be super eepy and sleepy, and we're gonna get something.
I am.
Eepy.
No problem. Already there.
Super emotion eepy.
Yeah, I think you guys, as you guys are talking and discussing, a single sprout kind of pops up out of the ground next to you, and the more you talk, it's just suddenly like, those like those fast like motion photographs of like a seed growing, that it's like time lapse is the word I was using for it. Time lapse, like the whole thing that's like sprouts into like a little classic shoot and then 2 leaves, and it immediately just sprouts up into a massive tree. And you see not like a man-made structure, but the branches themselves grow in such a way that after like a natural like ladder formation from the whorls and knots of the tree trunk itself, it climbs up into like a cradle that forms like walls of branches with like separate little rooms in them, and you are able to ascend, and you see that instead of like normal like wooden beds with like mattresses in there, there's like kind of like lush bedrolls with extremely soft leaves, and some like hammocks of like thinner branches that like suspend like a basically like a tapestry, a cloth of like extremely soft leaves. Kind of like you can choose to hang or lay down in the rolls or what have you. And there's some kind of like edible like mushrooms that grow out of the walls. Basically, kind of just pluck off there and just chomp into. And you guys ascend, and yeah. What do you think? What do you want to be in this treehouse? Just what would you like to be in there? A TV. You see there is a you don't know where this comes from, but there's like a mirror on the inside of it that kind of like flickers and warps, and there's like static in there, and it says, you do not have access to the channel yet. There's like a little antenna made of wood that you have to adjust.
Wi-Fi.
No.
Oh no.
I want a Fey Rooster.
You want a Fey Rooster? Yeah.
Yeah.
A little Fey Rooster comes up. You see the rooster is made of glass. It is a glass rooster. And you can see all of its little internal organs and stuff. It's kind of gross. And the little like fringe that it has on its head is like this weird like iridescent color that like changes hues based on its mood, and it just like follows you around.
All right. Well, just make sound when it's morning. All right. You're kind of my alarm clock. Let's get this situated.
I just thought of a pun. I'm not gonna say it. Yes. You guys settle into your beds. Yeah, are there any discussions you want to have take place here? Is Sima gonna find out what the fuck happened with the favor?
Before I go to bed, I just want to remind everyone, since I'm the responsible one, and we gotta be careful. Since everyone remembers, our emotions dictate our surroundings, so no one have nightmares. All right, let's all just have an agreement right now.
Is that a choice?
No nightmares.
Do you normally choose whether or not you do?
Well, then just stay up if you're gonna have a nightmare.
Well, how do I know?
If you don't
Fuck
trust
your HP.
No, that's
Like,
a fair point. I only have to transfer.
Are
4
you
hours anyways.
dead tired or not? If you're dead tired, go to bed, because I will.
No.
And I the little like swaddle of the rooster, I like pull on it and it turns off the light for him.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I have a sending to send, and then I'll probably ask Ruby what happened.
Sure. Who are you sending to? Zisha,
I'm
from?
yeah, yep, you got it in one.
You will have to
Striven.
roll though for this.
I
think.
will, yes.
Do you have any
Rarely ever applies, but
It's a
yeah,
5%
roll a
chance,
20.
right?
Roll a d20, and unless you get a 1, you're fine.
This would be really funny.
Okay,
Ah,
you're
close. The no cigar.
You're good.
Okay, and the only spell slot I have left is a 5th level spell slot. So it will be a little bit longer than usual.
Okay.
Which is fine.
You can, if you choose, send that, like write that later if you want, or you can do it now if you have it prepared.
I've got it. And it
hell yeah.
says,
Okay.
yeah. And it says, hey, I thought I should let you know we found Suli and we got her out of there. She's safe with us now. Yeska is dead. I think she's been through hell, but she's gonna be all right. We miss you. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
Okay. You hear? Oh wait, I haven't voiced Zisha in a while. Did I give her an Eastern European accent, or did I give her?
You
British
used a
accent?
British accent.
Okay, I thought so. Because I know
Yeah.
I wanted to distinguish her from Yeska.
Mhm.
She says, "I'm glad to hear." I'm just gonna assume that the sending also gives her an extended amount of words, so I'm just gonna talk.
Presumably.
I'm glad to hear that. When you next have the chance, if at all possible, through magic or anything, I'd love to hear her voice. But those words are of the most comfort to me. I knew, ever since you set off to find her, you would keep your promise. Although I feared in my heart that in having one return to me, that the other would be lost. To hear that you are both safe fills my heart with joy. I know not what situation plagues you on the other end of this message, but I hope that you have the ability to send again soon. I hope you and your companions are all right. In the weeks since the events at Ravenhall, none have seen anything of you or your crew. We have been worried, but to hear that you're alive is good and well.
Weeks.
Take care, my love.
Yeah, it's bad.
Okay, without telling anyone. Okay, Suma has a little personal mental crisis for 1 second, and then he goes to see where Sui is.
Yeah, you see she's kind of like watching at a window looking out at the Feywild. And you see as you come up behind her, her head is a little bit tilted, and you see beyond sort of this window pane, outside, extremely large and dramatic changes are happening. You see like a waterfall, you see mountains spring up out of nothing, you see, clouds rolling in, you see rainbows, you see so much. Like her eyes are open and you feel kind of a power resonating from her. And give me a perception check, actually.
Mm.
It's 23. You see something appear from the distance. It is roughly in the direction you guys are walking from. A streak of like light that is like ricocheting and like bending at odd angles, pulsing with tremendous energy. It is not of one color, but it's almost like flashing through every color in the spectrum, alternating between them. Like you blink, it's red, it's yellow, it's neon green, it's everything in between, and it is hurtling out through the darkness, heading straight for Suli. With that such a high perception check, I think you have the ability, if you want to do something here, you could do something. Just let me know what that might be.
I feel like he would think it was sort of a manifestation of all the crazy things that she must be going through mentally right now, and so he would just sort of knock gently on the side of the door and talk to her.
You knock gently, and as you call out, she turns to meet your gaze, and the bolt of energy crashes through the window and strikes her, and you see her whole body's like lit up with a bright flash of light. And she kind of like collapses to the ground briefly, and yeah, you probably rush over to her. But as she kind of like rises, though almost like a faint smoke is like hissing off of her body, she doesn't seem harmed at all. In fact, when she like grabs your hand to like push up, like as you help her up, you feel that she seems stronger actually. Like a vigor has returned to her. She goes, "What was that?" I'm okay, right? I'm okay. You okay?
I have a suspicion. Can I do an Arcana check, perhaps?
You may. Yeah. You don't just tell me what your suspicion is.
Suspicion.
Yeah. What do you think it is? And I can confirm or deny.
I think Suma would think that it is when Yeska died, all of the sort of, blood of the ancients, chaos energy had to go somewhere, and so it's returning to Suli now.
Yes, that is accurate. You immediately like clock what it is, but you also know, just like at a glance, that probably wasn't all of it. It's like this energy is kind of all power. It can cross planes, it can transcend dimensions, but it's also like really far away. Like Yeska was falling through an endless void. You know what I mean? And so that energy is coming out of Yeska, released from her, like bit by bit, sort of like it's freed from her body, and that energy is kind of trying to find where it's supposed to be. And at this point, this kind of like this batch of it has returned to Suli and has filled her with a little bit more vigor. That is true. You opted for the dramatic, which I love.
2 gold pieces.
I thought of it. And that was the
She had
dagger,
Electro?
3 gold
50
pieces.
Electrum. Weird.
I should have taken her spell book. Oh well. No, yeah, I went for this there.
You see, she rises. She says, "Are you all right? You weren't harmed, were you?"
No, I wasn't harmed. Are you okay? That didn't hurt, did it?
No, it didn't. I feel better somewhat. Like a fog in my brain is dissipating. But look, Father, you see she points outside, and you see she says, "When I was the other me, before I remembered, I used to dream so often. And it's like everything I ever dreamed can be real here."
Yes. What do you think so far of the Feywild?
Oh, I think it's wonderful. I can't wait to meet the Queen. Surely for the ruler of such a wonderful place, she must also be quite wonderful. And if she was opposed to Yeska, and you see she like has to like fight some programming in her mind to like say Yeska's name. She says, if she was opposed to Yeska, I suppose she'll be a friend to me. To us.
I hope so. The Fae, from what I know, can be capricious, and fickle. She might not be predictable, but I think she will be a friend of a kind to us. It's certainly exciting to meet a queen.
Of course. Have you ever met a queen? I'm sure you and your friends must get along quite well with royalty. You're heroes, after all.
A queen?
There must be so many kings and queens who owe the safety of their kingdoms to you.
A queen I don't think I have personally met. Kings, yes. At least, well, 1.5 of them, sort of. But yes, I mean, we've been on many exciting travels. I would look forward to telling you some of the stories of the things that we've done. I think you would enjoy them.
I would love that.
Wonderful.
You see, she casts. You feel a little mischief rise up in her. She goes, the boy over there, Alok, his name was?
Mm-hmm.
Does he write about all your little travels in that journal of his?
I think so. He's always jotting things down. Don't think he'd ever let me see it, though.
Interesting. She just says, interesting.
Whatever you're thinking, I support you unconditionally as my child.
For some reason, Alok's sleeping on it right now. Oh, what a coincidence.
And you see she says, I'm so sorry, I forgot. You called for me.
Oh, yes, I was just, I was wondering if you were going to sleep soon, or if you wanted to stay up.
I was thinking of sleeping, but after whatever happened just happened, I'm suddenly filled with a lot of energy. I might still be up for a bit.
Well, I'd love to catch up. If you wouldn't mind a few minutes with the old man.
Of course. If you promise to
thought
tell
there
me
was,
one story.
Of course. Anything. You can even pick which one.
Oh. Okay, you first, though.
Me first.
Ask
What do you
me,
mean?
I'm not sure how much I could tell you of what I went through, but it was all quite dreadful. But I dreamed of you. Every so
I
often.
saw your pictures.
She was... At first she was teaching me how to use it. This power inside of me. She wanted to put that power into words, into bindings, scrolls, spell books. She wished to make sense of it. But I don't know that it was ever meant to be made sense of. I still do not truly understand much about what the ancients are or were, or why it is that I have their legacy. But what I do understand of the magic inside of me is that it feels limitless. But, like this place, it is fickle. Difficult to constrain. And you see she looks out and the environment is changing again. You see like the waterfall kind of like sinks into the ground and becomes a rushing stream. You see it freezes over, like an iceberg comes out of it. You see the ice melts, and it becomes like a pond with like lily pads float up to the surface. What do you know about what I am?
Yeah, I feel like I would tell her anything she asked to know about.
Yeah. You give her the lowdown.
Yeah. About everything that, we know about what Yeska's plans were, because I don't know if Yeska was transparent with her about, time loops and, I tell her, like, who the ancients were, and I tell her probably about, this is, I don't know if this will make sense to you, right now, maybe it will later, but, there's an old friend who wanted to say hello to you.
An old friend.
Yes, from a different cycle than this. Their name is Kana. And, it's their blood that runs through your veins that gives you these powers. I met them in the maze. And, they said to say hello, and that we would be meeting again soon. I don't know what that meant,
I
but
see. Well, if they're a friend of yours, they're a friend of mine. Though I do wonder.
I think so.
I assume you would have told her, like, sort of her prophesied role in, like, the Red Wraith's plans. Would you have told her of that?
Yeah, but like I feel like in sort of a vague way, unless you pressed for details, like I would probably tell her that her magic was sought after by the Wraith so that the Wraith could harness it, like for his own purposes. Depending on what she asked, I might go into more detail, but like
Yeah, you see, she says, what frightens me is that I didn't ask for this burden. This, I suppose you could call it a gift, but it's never really felt like one. I'm afraid that the moment we leave this place, that I will be sought after by another force, and another, and another. Do you think that this Connor can teach me how to use it? I'd like, for once, to be the one doing the protecting.
I think so. I mean, you know me, I learned from books and writings and things based on research and study, but your magic is entirely different. Something I've never seen before. And I think that if we can connect with Kana somehow, if you can connect with them in a way I can't even, I think we could find a way for you to harness this. Not in the way that Yeska wanted, but in a way similar to how we've been shaping the Feywild.
You see, she nods, and you see, she says, there were times when I would dream of escaping. The way Yeska put it, it was my destiny to be a tool that someone would use, one way or another, to save the world or to destroy it. But I thought to myself, if I were ever to escape, that I would try to destroy that destiny itself. I even thought, maybe if I gathered like a group of people who could help me, we would call ourselves the Destiny Destroyers.
So weird, I had the exact same thought.
Name.
But I'm sure maybe that would never happen, perhaps in another timeline.
Everyone starts twisting in their sleep somehow.
It's a little throwback to when you guys saw a version of the future where she wasn't kidnapped. She would have been a Destiny Destroyer back in the day. It was a long time ago, but
I remember. Oh, Saris was there. It was great.
Yeah, it was.
Did he die in it?
Yeah, I think they lost. They lost in that time.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Mm-hmm.
You see, she says, okay, well, what was the scariest thing you had to do in your journey to find me?
Scariest. Scariest.
The most dangerous, perhaps.
Well, I think those are two different things, possibly. The scariest was probably Yeska, if I'm honest. She... Well, you know. She always seemed like she knew so much more than we ever could. In the end, I don't think that was necessarily true, but she was very confident that she could keep us apart. And that was the scariest thing to me. But the most dangerous thing was probably the 20-foot tall snake lady from the theater who had 666 hit points or something.
I do remember. She goes, a snake lady. Yeah, and
They galloped around the ship, and it didn't really work, but it would have been so cool if it worked.
I grumble in my sleep.
yeah.
Yeah.
You see, she goes, I can't believe you had to face such awful things.
Yeah, well, it was hard in its own way. Mostly because I didn't know if at the end we would be here having this talk, which is really all I wanted. But there were good things, too, in it.
Seems you found good friends.
I'm grateful for them. I hope you'll be able to get to know them a bit. They're very strange, but I love them.
See, she smiles, then she says, how's Mother?
She misses you. She wants to talk to you. I just spoke with her before I came in here.
Do you think I could?
Maybe. I don't know how to facilitate your voice through my spell. Might be able to, but you might be able to do it yourself. I saw some of what you could do back there in the maze.
I'll do my best. I'd love to hear from her again. There's a guilt in my heart for having to call Yeska something that only Mother should have been called. Please don't tell her that I ever did that. If you could.
No. I was planning on never telling her a thing about that because it would break her heart more than, it already is.
And my aunts? All three of them? I think there's only three.
Yes, there are three. Wait, there's four.
Did Jessica have another? Or sorry, did Zisha have another sister?
No, well, there's three on her side, one on mine.
Oh, right. I forgot there was three.
That's what I was thinking of. But I actually
4 aunts.
I just God. Imagine. I actually don't know what's going on with any of them at the moment. I hope they're all right. God, I guess I should check in now that you mention it. But if you do talk to your mother, I was planning on telling the rest of everyone in the morning, but on the outside, not in the Feywild, there's a little bit of time dilation. Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly.
Oh, yes, of course.
For her, it's been a little bit longer. So just don't be surprised if she mentions it.
How much longer? We've only been here a few hours, maybe?
Tsuma, like, debates for a half second too long and decides to tell the truth. A couple of weeks.
Oh dear. Does that
What?
mean every second that passes is...
I don't think so. We should probably ask Alok. I feel like he knows more about the Feywild, strictly speaking, than I do, but I don't think it's necessarily consistent. And I also think that it can possibly be shifted by powerful Feywild entities. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a 1-to-1. It could be that an hour passes in 3 weeks and the next day passes in a few seconds. I don't know, but I just didn't want you to be surprised. But I think we should
All right.
not worry about it yet.
Right. Okay. You see a silence kind of falls over. I like to imagine you guys are probably maybe like sitting on the bed or something.
I feel like this whole time, like, if there's like a cute little cottagecore kitchen or something, I've been like making her like a cup of tea or something, like, you know.
Yeah,
just
she's
sort of
sitting
puttering around.
on the center island, kicking her feet.
Mhm.
She says, "Is there anything else that you would like to like ask her or talk to her about in specific?"
I in particular can't think of anything specific at the moment, but I feel like he would be up for chatting, you know, late into the night, as long as we both were awake enough to do so.
Yeah, I think that sleep is perhaps the furthest thing from your mind right now.
Mhm.
And by the way, I just forgot. I just wanted to cut in for a second to something else. I'd like to remind you, Alok, that you are not sleeping.
Do I trance?
You are trancing.
Okay.
Well,
Oh,
we
boy.
might cut to that in a second, but yeah, I think you guys talk long into the night. Like your energies are high, and she tells you all about just sort of like the daily routine that Yeska had her doing. She mentions that like every now and then somebody would arrive at her cottage with like a request to power something. That was like not like routine, but like that was a thing that happened from time to time that she was like sort of used to.
Yeah, I would probably mention like we met Dumas and he said he had met you, and
Yeah. And I think what she's most curious of right now, actually more than anything, is just like stories about your friends, because you guys are traveling together now. And she's like, so what's everyone's deal? Like,
well, we've got, let's see, we've got the captain, of course. He is very whimsical, very charming, has sort of a dark, like, bond with some sea entity that he doesn't really like to talk about. maybe you could get some more information out of him than I
Okay.
could.
She's taking notes.
We've
She's
got
like a spy.
Ruby, first mate and therapist, who
She's a therapist. I could see that.
Ooh.
yes. Oh, and is actually from Copra as well. I wonder
really?
if like we ever crossed paths or anything before all this, but I don't know. If we did, I didn't know, but you could probably. Well, she doesn't really. She didn't get on very well with
I see.
Copra and
So, touchy subject.
Pelea, so it might not be something to bond over, but a cleric of Priscilla, very powerful, very cool. Very cool. And Alok, who is a bit quiet, a bit mysterious, very stealthy. Sometimes I don't know where he goes off to. But very
Sometimes
kind
I feel like
and
I'm looking
compassionate as
right
well.
at him, and then I'm looking at him, but I don't see him.
Yes, I feel that way as well. Honestly, sometimes infuriating, but very useful other times. But yes, he's a very good heart and very smart. Sometimes I think possibly smarter than I am.
No, I doubt that's possible.
I think it's very possible.
And she goes, so, and you guys are pirates?
Well, sort of. I would say yes. We are on. We are part of the crew of the legendary pirate ship, the Reaper. And we have been. Have we been invited? We've been invited to the Pirate Council.
There's
I
a
don't know if that's
pirate
true.
council?
But yes, sometime after we leave the Feywild, we probably going to go there and meet all the other cool pirate captains.
I see. So, you see a smile based on her face. Is there like drama on the ship? Are people dating? You see,
Oh, yeah.
she's like 16, so she's like, what's the
I pull
scoop?
out I pull out my carbon copy of Nico's shipping chart.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Well, you see.
Yeah, and I think that little bit of like adolescent frivolity helps take away some of the weight of like some of the more serious grave discussions of like
Mhm.
her destiny and her powers and such, and you guys just like I think end up like talking and laughing and eventually kind of simmering down to just like it's like a quiet moment of, you know, she's done eating like whatever like sandwich she made her, like a
Yeah.
PB&J or whatever, and I think you maybe like tuck her into bed a little bit while still talking, and eventually she just says, even in my wildest dreams when I was prisoner, none of them were ever this good. So I'm choosing to believe that this is real because there is the fear that I'm going to wake up and I'll be in that cottage again, or worse, the white room that came before that. Thank you for being real this time.
You too, little one. I'll see you in the morning.
I'll see you.
I love
And
you.
I love you too. And she,
Go off
yeah,
to,
you go off. You that little thing where you like you look back,
I do, yes.
and then you flick the light off or whatever. You stand in the doorway and you flick the
Classic.
light off.
Yeah.
Wow, you
And she
didn't tuck
goes,
her in?
Father,
Yes?
could you bring me a water?
Of course, darling.
Thank you. And she's like half asleep, doesn't even drink it.
No. She's asleep by the time I get back.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Shuma, you're able to go back to your own quarters, and you begin the trance as well. Alok, you hear a lot of this. It's muffled and sort of far away. You are like trying your best to sleep. Like I feel I don't know if you would say this is true. I feel like Alok is the kind of person who like falls asleep really fast when he needs to, and like wakes up at a certain
Probably
time,
able to,
sleeps
yeah.
at a certain time, right? Like he's very much like, this is my bedtime. I go to sleep at this time, and I wake up at this time almost every day. Because you have your rituals that you do, especially in the mornings. I think you get up a bit before everyone else. But try as you might, you are unable to fall asleep. You do, however, enter into a strange, weird state of being where, like, you're a bit far from your body. You are resting in one sense, but you are still strangely conscious of what's going around you. But everything happens as if through a veil. Like your eyes are closed, but you hear actively the muffled words of coming up from the kitchen. I don't know if Gallet or Ruby snore, but if they're snoring, you hear that, as if from far away. Uh, how does Alok feel about this? Because I don't know
Oh,
if
he's
Alok necessarily
uncomfortable.
knows what's
'Cause
going on.
he's so confused. He's like, why can't I just sleep? What is happening? I'm like half awake, half asleep constantly. He's definitely uncomfortable. He probably like even snaps out of it like a few times because it's just like it's so unknown to him. Hmm. Yeah, I think I think he just feels uncomfortable. But he probably eventually, like, it's over time, he'll get his 4 hours over the course of 8 hours.
Yeah, goes into his deep
intermittently.
trance.
Yeah.
Welcome to
his
insomnia.
REM trance. Yeah, eventually you all nod off and you dream beautiful, fun, whimsical dreams. Ruby, you dream of talking storm clouds that are going, good job, good job, good job on the last fight. Gallet, you dream of being out at sea, back on the Reaper. You dream of attending the. I was about to say that. Oh wait, you said that before. You dream about going to the Pirate Council and like making your case for Pirate King. I said that I thought of that before I read your message. And you all wake up in the morning feeling nice and refreshed, and as we had leveled up, a bit stronger from your experiences and your tribulations that you went through.
I feel
I make everyone breakfast, obviously.
Hell yeah. What breakfast
Oh.
is Suma making?
Yeah.
Pancakes.
I want coffee. Do you have coffee?
I have already made it for you. It's in front of you.
Oh,
now.
thank you. I come in with PJs and I'm holding my rooster clock.
I
Hey,
love that
Sully.
thing.
Sully, while I'm eating and drinking, can you read this to me? I want to know what's new in the news. And I give her 101 squared fun facts about Ela.
Yeah, I think
What's in the
Galen,
news?
when you wake up, it's just a rooster walking over to your bed and going, cock-a-doodle doo. Like right
Oh
in
my
your ear.
That's the best thing I've ever heard of.
Fine.
Oof, might need to put that one down.
That's far too personal, dude.
And then as you wake up and the rooster confirms that you're awake, it shatters into a cloud of glass shards that gets sucked back up into itself and formed into an egg that will hatch by the evening and will cock-a-doodle-doo again in the morning.
I put it in my bag.
Yeah, you walk over, you hand Suli the thing, the 101 facts. Let's just roll a D.
Ooh, that's a good one.
92. Okay. She flips through it. She says, "Wow, this is an interesting book. Well, it certainly is saying a lot about the Feywild, which is sort of, convenient. It says that, yes, indeed, Queen Titania rules over the summer court of the Feywild. There are two courts that sort of, most people fall into one of the two. They're the Seelie Court and the Unseelie Court, also known as the Summer Court and the Gloaming Court. And it says Queen Titania is known to be extremely powerful and beautiful, ethereal. sort of person whose charms are as powerful as her magic. It also says that, that's interesting. She looks down and she says, the ruler of the Unseelie Court is known only by the name the Queen of Air and Darkness. No proper name, I suppose, or first name or anything like that, but it says here that she was once sisters with Titania before their family was torn apart by something. They seem to be in somewhat of an eternal conflict. But underneath that, it lists some of the sort of primary people underneath the Queen of Air and Darkness. It's just a strange name, so it jumps out. There is a King Wongo. I don't know what that means.
I'm sorry, what? Ting Wango?
King Wongo. They're a king of something, apparently, but not the husband of the Queen of Air and Darkness. Just apparently king of something else.
Is that... Do you think it's that dude's boss?
Who's boss?
The rhyme guy.
Oh, Robin Goodfellow.
Yeah, thank you. How do you already catch on faster than me? Wow, you really are Suma's kid. Wow. Okay.
Yes. It says, the only thing on King Wongo is that he has ascended quickly through the ranks of the Unseelie Court on a platform of kindness and goodness.
Oh, that's not trustworthy. I don't trust that guy at all. Through being a good person? Doing well in politics because you're a good person? Come on. Now that is not realistic.
Well, I suppose I'm not worldly enough to be so distrustful, but it is a funny name. It's more what I wanted to point out.
For sure.
What kind of a name is Wongo?
It's probably like a mom that was really mad at their kid, and on the naming day, they're like, "You're one go," and that sort of stuck.
Somehow, some way it is.
Everybody's Aramis until
King
really
Wango's kind of hot. What?
If you change the way the lines of each letter arrange, make new
If you
letters.
go blind in one eye and dyslexic in the other.
Under the light of the moon.
In the original Goblin, actually, it
yes.
translates.
It's
Okay,
a director's cut thing.
Yeah, you guys are all up and about. What would you guys like to do? What do you guys say to each other? What's going on?
I'm feeling great. Wow. All my wounds are gone with one night's sleep. It's actually amazing if you really think about just how much damage we take and how much we walk off.
Well, we're resilient,
Well, yeah, at this point, I think our bodies are just, used to it.
Yeah. Other than the
Which
dying
should be
part.
worrying.
Yeah, I guess we weren't really resilient there.
Yeah.
Anyways, speaking of which, thank you, Ruby, actually. I don't think we ever properly said thank you.
I did.
No, you usually don't. It's fine.
Well, you say usually, but this is the second time. Actually, no, this is the first time you revived me, so...
Wait, is this
that
your
you
first?
remember?
Alok, is this your first?
Getting revived by Ruby, yeah. I've been revived by the other guy.
Ravon, yes, that's true, actually.
Oh, Ravon?
The guy that disappeared here.
Ravon down in Mayara, yes. Well, I think he revived Ruby first, right? I want to say. Then Ruby revived somebody else there. 3 of you died there, is what I remember.
Yeah.
It's actually the closest we've ever come to TPK. Good times.
That was fun. But yeah, I wanted to say thank you. And also, I think it's important we kind of get this out there. So again, emotion's important. Ruby, so for your safety and for the whole group's safety, you might want to be a little less Ruby while we're here. And by that I mean grumpy and negative and potentially putting us in danger.
What? When have I put the party in danger?
Well, no. But we've also not been in the Feywild. Oh, and now it could put us in danger. So yeah, like, maybe just like bottle it up, really contain it, and let it all out.
Can you your customer service smile? Can we Can we see the customer service?
Yeah, like you can fake it. Just fake it. It's fine.
Yeah, no, that's
what most of us do. It's fine.
Yeah. I fake my happiness most of the time.
Yeah, see?
It's
You get
easy.
Like, I'm not, yeah.
Yeah, perhaps he hasn't given you lessons how to be a pleasant person, because clearly no idea
Well, that's not
how to
true.
do that.
I think, to be clear, I've never said anything because I think I like everyone just how they are. But I'm not the Feywild. The Feywild will have its own opinions of people and interpretations.
We all think, Ruby, you're the kindest, best person in the world, but others may have other opinions.
Yeah.
And we're here to protect you from them. Or warn you. Suma, help us out. Suma, help us out.
I don't know.
I will not be helping you dig your own grave. No, thank you.
We're in this together, like
what would really? Yeah, that's a good point. You two as a duo. What would really make me feel good and get all this pent up stress out of the way? Is if you just let me rough you up a little bit,
What do you mean? Hey, Ruby. Well, yeah, the grass is starting to catch on fire near you. I'm gonna back up just a little bit, just a tiny bit.
I mean, if you want to like mess around with my hair, I don't really care. I never really put it together, anyways. Like that's fine. I guess. That's
okay. Yeah, I will take that. Does anyone have any scissors?
Well, that's not really roughing it up. That's more cutting it up.
I've got a sword.
Oh, perfect. Do you mind?
Not at all.
I think scissors would be better.
Actually, maybe I was just putting this out there for safety. I wasn't trying to.
Yeah, it's a little bit long, actually, so we should.
Oh, don't worry. It turns into a dagger.
Man, it's really weird. You actually do seem happier while talking.
Not scissors, though. Not scissors.
Wait, does Ayla let me get close enough to chop off his hair?
Not at all. You're ducking away.
You're just standing a bit too tall. All right.
Like
well, that's
your forehead, like hold your back, like your brother.
I just sort of turned to Suli. Look, we're not on our best day. We just come back from a fight. We are usually.
She had been eating popcorn for the treehouse is summoned.
Oh, it just summons this.
So it's not always like this.
No, I mean
he slipped into it so naturally.
No, sometimes Suma's part of it, and Suma is not being a team player right now.
Not for this. No.
Oh no.
Is this a spell slot being used?
the way he said that is so funny to
me. This merits it. I feel like this warrants it.
Oh.
Lucky Lass?
Oh.
She can't get both of us to defend me.
You're not worth the spell slot.
Well, no, I'm not saying counter, but just defend me. And I'm
Oh no! At this point, I've ditched
fair.
You.
It's fair. All I did was, try to help Ruby.
No. And this is why we need Ruby to be the therapist. She really gets this all out of us. She really brings us together. You miss a spot right behind the ear. Right behind the ear.
Oh,
yeah, you got
thank
it.
You.
Alok, did you always have pointed ears, by the way? I thought you were a human?
I can't respond.
Right.
Blink twice for yes. Blink once for yes, twice for no.
Does whole person allow you to even breathe? Take it off.
Just wait, one more hair. Okay. Oh. You are released. You could answer Suma's question.
I didn't like that.
Very professional.
Yeah, but does it look good?
Do you do this? Do you do with daggers and swords to yourself or to others?
Is that to Ruby?
Yeah.
Wait, what was that?
Hair? Do you give haircuts with swords and or daggers?
Oh, sometimes.
Okay, so we're gonna add that on top of being a therapist for the ship.
Yeah, I mean,
She's not the
we're not gonna give her a raise for that. Let's be clear. She's already
Oh,
making
just right
too
there.
much.
Many of us get paid, actually.
Are you gonna take that, Ruby? You have another whole person spell slot. You could do that again.
No.
I'll save it. Wait, what did you say?
Hmm?
What was
What? I'm the captain. That's my position. It's true.
that? Oh, right.
Yes.
Was there something?
No, I was just stating I'm the captain, and there's implications there.
He also
Captains
said that
get
he wouldn't
haircuts
give you a
too.
raise.
Okay, you listen to me. Not now. Mm-mm. You do not sit
I
out the
will
entire time
defer.
and now come in. All right, you're out of this.
At least let us braid
Suli,
your hair or something.
Oh, would that make you happy, Suli?
Yes.
Okay.
We could put like little beads in
Okay.
it.
No beads. What? How
She
about
holds
You
up
are
beads.
supposed to look nice for Queen Titania,
Oh yeah, you know what? That
Alright, so long
maybe
rest
I like.
again, right?
Asshole person again is so funny to me. That's so funny to me.
Okay, let's see if I make it.
This has to be like evil. Like surely an alignment change.
No. It's so was the save. Oh my god, the exact
Yes.
same.
Lucky lads!
It's
This is
so funny.
appropriate.
Yeah. She Ruby, you and Suli tag team braiding Gallet's hair.
That's good. Never looked
Yeah.
better.
It's beautiful.
Very
Yeah,
captain.
there's a little
Everyone.
beads. Pirates have those like beads in their hair sometimes. I'm just thinking of Jack Sparrow, but he has the beads in his hair. And she puts a little flower in there behind your ear.
Oh.
Perfect.
Oh, you're actually good at this, Ruby. Wasn't expecting that.
See, even when I threaten you guys, I help you guys. So you are released.
I haven't actually taken care of my hair.
It really, it
Oh,
does stop your breathing. It stops your breathing. Why do you have that spell?
It does.
Why did you? This seems like a great spell to use on humanoids.
For the next, I'm gonna say, Ruby, give me a little performance check with advantage.
I've never done it. When was the last time we did a performance check?
A 19. On a 19, your adjustments to Gallet and Alok's hair, combined with the whimsy and magic of the Feywild, grant them an extra +1 to any charisma-based check they make until it grows out or until Gallet takes the braids out.
That's staying in for the rest of the camp.
Probably not gonna help Ayla too much, but
Yeah. Or probably until you leave the Feywild, probably.
Probably.
But yeah, the little braid, the little cleaning up Aylot's hair, has now done a little something for them. Suma, do you at any point tell them about the time shift?
Yeah, probably once all the fun winds down.
Yeah.
I will mention something a little less whimsical. I'll just explain, what Zisha said, and explain, the time can work differently in the Feywild compared to the outside world. I sort of look at Alok after I finish explaining that. Do you have any more thoughts on how we might proceed, considering that.
To like get the best result with the time.
I don't know.
It's kind of out of our hands.
It seems presumptuous to ask Titania if there's any way
Yeah.
she can affect it, and we're already,
In debt.
we already owe her something.
I was thinking that's probably our best bet, but we also could make other friends while we're there. That can maybe
We
help.
could, yes. I wanted to mention it because I didn't want anyone to be so shocked if we learned that later. I was also wondering, we had asked yesterday, or we had talked yesterday briefly about whether I should try to contact Simon, which I haven't done. I didn't have enough magic yesterday to do that as well, but I could today if we wanted to A, see if he's alive, and B, if so, how things are now.
That doesn't seem like a bad idea, just for more information, because maybe we'll get a little bit better idea of like what's happening with time, because like it's been a whole night since you last sent us in,
Yes.
right? So maybe it went back in time, and it's only 5 minutes since we left.
Maybe.
I don't know how
honestly,
time works.
I'm sure that's not what will happen.
Are you sure though?
It could
Maybe
be-
time is like a tree that bends over and it's recursive.
Maybe. But I
Maybe
feel
someone
like...
passed. We're in the next loop, actually.
Yeah.
But a little bit
Yeah.
behind.
I would like my. Yeah, I think my thoughts on this is that it is a good idea to try to talk to him, but I don't think it's a priority, and I think we should wait until before we rest again. If we have the spell slot or whatever magic energy left over.
We're in the Feywild. You think something's going to attack us?
Yes, definitely.
So
And-
soon after we finished a boss fight?
Yeah.
That seems a bit weird.
I just don't think that any of the information we could get will really affect what we do between now and the next time we sleep. Man, I wish I could sleep. Yeah, I
Had trouble sleeping last night.
I didn't have the easiest time sleeping.
You see, Sula says, "Sorry, were we talking too loudly?"
I definitely heard like a lot going on, but I don't think you guys were the reason. I think I just was having...
Your perception's really high, to be fair. You're bound... I mean, like, you're getting better and better at that rogue type stuff. This is probably just, like, a side effect of getting better at that.
Well, no, there definitely was something weird that happened. It's kind of hard for me to admit, but there was this weird feeling I had when people were popping out of bushes, and I'm
Well, hold on.
I don't know what this could mean.
You have that too.
It's genetic.
Ah.
I leave.
But
You know,
no,
Oh my God,
One
this
time,
is way
Yeska
better.
sent a groundsman to clean up the hedges near the cottage, and I
No.
thought, wow.
This is so
That's
much work. We
unfortunate.
need to protect it. We need to protect all the elves. There's too many bushes in the Feywild. Ruby, keep them away. Keep them away. It's just me and you out here. Everyone else are animals.
Mr. DM.
Yeah.
I feel like the ears have been pointed out. The Alok knows about the trance. Would he have probably an idea at this point? Not that he's connected to Suma necessarily, but that like some Elvis
I
shit
think-
is going on.
I
Not
think
Elvis, but
Alok is smart enough to know that he's become a little bit Elvis.
Yeah, a little bit Elvis.
Hey.
He
Yeah.
knows he ain't nothing like a hound dog,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that's like he.
That's more
That's
Boror's
actually
domain,
crazy that
but-
Ruby just changed Alok's hair to look like Elvis. I was like,
Whoa.
that's a coincidence.
What?
Oh my gosh, you're a JoJo character now.
but
Where-
after she
where
finished,
did
she
you
did
get
say,
the-
thank you very much."
Hey, Locke, when did you change your shoes? I didn't know they were blue suede.
I don't even know. This must be a Feywild thing.
Yeah, I think Alok, you conclude that for some reason you have become a little bit elvish.
Mm-hmm.
From the Feywild.
So yeah, with the trance thing, he'll just. Yeah, something definitely weird happened in the maze. I don't know when it happened or how. I don't think it happened before the maze, but I definitely have some slightly more elvish leaning features. Such as
Are
the
you-
ears and the sleep.
How are you dealing? How are you okay with that?
The sleep
Is that-
sucked.
Yeah, but like, are you worried or like?
I
I
think
don't-
there's only so much I can really worry about because a lot of things just seem to be out of my hands these days.
Look on the bright side. You're gonna live longer.
Well, we don't know that necessarily. We don't really know what parts of being an elf I got.
If you got the bushes, you get to live longer. It's. I feel like one
that's like the
comes with the other.
major part. Yeah, everything that
Yeah.
feeds off of that one. It makes sense.
Yeah,
Those
no.
genes are linked, actually.
Yeah.
Evolution worked out that way.
It makes sense.
Yeah. If you think,
But yeah,
if
I'm
you
not
really
worried
think
about it. I think
Okay.
either it'll revert because it's some weird Fey stuff, or it's just something another.
You don't look
part
that
of me I have to
different.
deal with.
You don't look that different, and like with the new hairstyle, it kind of like accentuates the ears. Kind of works.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
You
cool.
know, this is a new you. See what new Alok's like. First thing we know has horrible sleep. Always dead sleep.
Yep, not fun.
Second thing we know, bushes are a bit more interesting now, eh?
Well, we don't need to add that one. I feel like it's a little bit on the third. It was just like
Three,
it was
you're
like a
gonna-
notice.
You're gonna probably like poems a bit more. I feel like that's just the thing that goes with
Okay.
it.
I didn't hate them before. I just
Okay, so you're gonna like them a little
Okay.
bit more now. Anything
Okay.
anything else from the like experts over here?
Looks at it.
I think you got it covered.
Mm. Okay. So we in those 3 points we covered what it means to be an elf.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, that's interesting.
I see nothing else. Yeah.
Well, that's all right. Well, is everyone? We're kind of burning daylight. We've already had this very good heart to heart. Let's go through this upside down tree.
Okay. You guys exit the treehouse and you pass through the archway. Each of you crosses one at a time. And I think like you watch the first person go, whoever it might be, and as they pass through the arch, you just stop seeing them entirely. They vanish from sight. You all go. I think Suli clings to you, and you kind of both go together, sort of hand in hand, or maybe arm in arm. And though it is sort of daylight when you kind of leave, you emerge in a dark, twilit wood. It's strange here, but the air doesn't feel ominous or twisted. Mist creeps along the forest floor, sort of drifts in clumps around the knotted roots of thick, dark-wooded trees. But it feels benign, innocuous. The air is warm. A sweet breeze blows through the wood, rustling the branches overhead, rustling the shrubs nearby that bristle with thorns. But it's a calm, balmy summer breeze, one that sort of wraps you up in a sweet embrace. And then you hear a voice. I think to your right, you see a big old thick tree with like knotted like knots in like the trunk that kind of form into a little face, like an old man's face. And you hear the mouth kind of creaks open and it says, "Oh, new faces in the summer wood, I see. Come close, come close. Let Vernon have a look at you." And you see
Can
this
I-
kindly old tree just like kind of like swaying in the breeze.
Can
It's kind
I
of calling
get
out to you.
an insight check? I'm getting bad vibes from him.
Yeah, give me an insight check. On a 14, Vernon, the old tree, does not have any bad intentions towards you.
Oh, he has no bad vibes. Never mind, I'll just come right up. Hi, old man. Old tree man.
Been a long time since mortals have come here through the summer wood. What are
Really?
you here for?
We're here to see Titania. Have a nice chat with her. We gotta hash things out. Well, you know how it is. We've got things to do. We're important people, you see.
You see, he kind of like cringes at that. You hear like the leaves overhead as he kind of like creaks backwards in tree form, and he says, "Titania, you have business with Titania? Oh no,
Oh
no, no,
no,
no, no, no, no, no, no, no,
is this not the
Titania."
summer court?
It is indeed, but Titania is a cruel and fickle queen who should not be trusted. You should turn instead if you require a boon to King Wongo, who is gracious and benevolent.
Uh-huh. Wow. And what are some historical things King Wongo has done to be gracious and benevolent?
Oh, Vernon can tell you much about that. But not only Vernon can tell you, many of the summer court's spirits can tell you as well. And you see at the base of Vernon's roots, you see like a cluster of like mushrooms, and they all like flick their heads backwards, and they have like little eyes that pop out like on the spots. They say, "Hi, we're
Hey,
Maiko.
Nid,
Just Maiko. That's
Nid.
us.
Well, nice to
We
meet
like
you,
King
Maiko.
Mungo too."
That's cool. I just look to my party to see if any of them want to jump in. Feel a little bit
Okay.
weirded out
Well,
right now.
I mean, I kind of like whisper this to Gallet, like, it's not really about good or bad, though, is it? I mean, we owe her a favor,
Yeah,
specifically.
I
That's the
don't know
thing.
what. They just
And either way, whether good or bad, she's gonna be pissed if we don't,
and they just keep on saying they like him. I'm trying to get some
Right.
details about the
There's
guy.
no substance, there's no, voting history, there's no, yeah.
Yeah. What does King Wongo look like?
King Wongo is a beautiful creature, very large and green and sticky.
Huh.
They say he's covered with a mucus that he uses to grant wishes.
Uh-huh. And which direction is King Wongo?
King Wongo? Well, I'm not supposed to tell you, but me, Old Tree Vernon, am one of the oldest trees here in the Summerwood. I
Uh-huh.
can clear a path for you through to the gloaming lands, the land of the gloaming court. There is the bog in which King Wongo lives.
Uh-huh.
He sends
And
some of his people here from time to time, and, well, they slathered King Wongo's mucus upon my bark, and now I am so much stronger than I was before.
and
The
Can I do
mucus
an Arcana
seeped
check?
into my bark, and it
Uh-huh.
made me firm and strong.
Oh boy!
you got your juices all over you, and
Oh,
you're stronger.
my sap is a-flowing. I
Oh.
feel like a young tree.
Okay, guys, let's go. Let's
Can
go.
I do some sort of Arcana
We're
check
done.
to see if I can figure out what's going on here?
Sure, if you like.
I just want to have some. I want to get my bearings. I don't know.
On a 16, you know, you would not put it out of your mind the possibility that some manner of enchantment magic is being used here. Enchantment is in the school of enchantment, as in the same realm as suggestion and command and those types of spells. It does seem to be extremely sort of, if it were a spell like that, it seems pretty powerful. To be kind of not cast, but like applied to a substance.
Right. It seems like part of that creature's body. Well, Captain, what do you think?
We go the opposite direction and hope we find Titania.
You see, Suli approaches Vernon the old tree. And he says, "My, you are a very interesting specimen. Have you always had a face?" And you see Vernon says, "Oh, what do we have here? You. It is you who are the specimen, my dear. Powerful your magics are." I don't know why he became Yoda there. I don't know.
Carry me upon your path.
She says, "Oh, thank you." And you see the Vernon the old tree kind of like bows, and you see the boughs of his branches kind of like bend as well as he like kind of like bows before her. And you see he says, "Why, yes. Well, I didn't always have a face, but eventually my trees and my roots grew so strong that I became conscious. Although I wasn't half as powerful as I am now without King Wongo's influence. Though I can sense among you a certain distrust. That is okay. That is understandable. It is actually quite wise to be distrustful of some of the creatures here in the Feywild. I mean, there are things lurking about in these woods, red caps and, displaced beasts. There's a unicorn, and he's a real dick, and he just prances around, and thinks he's better than everyone. But without King, what are you gonna say?
Oh, what's the unicorn's name? Just if we come across him.
The unicorn's name is Philip.
Lovely.
Philip the unicorn. A very un-unicorn type of name.
Trendsetter.
Although, I will tell you this, and this is a secret, so keep this between us, okay? That unicorn used to be a donkey until King Wongo allowed him to have his wish. That's why he doesn't have a traditional unicorn name, like or something like that. Something magical and cool. Instead, he's Philip.
Wait, how did a donkey get into Feywild?
Oh, there are donkeys here sometimes.
No, wait, sometimes.
Sometimes.
That seems like it's an off and on thing.
Well, a certain trick that Fae like to play on mortals is sometimes they turn their head into donkeys' heads, and then sometimes they cross the same fairy again, and then they turn their, torso into a donkey's torso, and so on and so forth, until you have a whole donkey. And then there's a donkey. And then other Fae think it's so hilarious that, they kind of continue the trend. It's become a bit of a meme.
Oh my god, that's horrifying.
With a human head?
Oh, that exists too. We just call them centaurs, though.
Fair enough, I guess.
Yeah. Very common to hear a Fae just go, haha, I totally donkeyed that guy.
Hey, Locke.
Anyway.
Hey, Locke, I don't like the Feywild. I don't think I like the Feywild so far.
Oh. Yeah.
You seemed pretty excited going in, but so far I hear King Wongo who gets his juices on everyone, and people getting turned into donkeys.
Yeah, but this is like the fun whimsy that you want to hear about but not experience. So, I'm gonna write this down. It's like, oh, it's gonna be really cool stuff we learn about the Fae.
Maybe do we need play into the whimsy and it'll become a bit more fun?
Probably not. But
Probably
we should do
not.
it nice.
You hear Maiko speak with the voices of all the mushrooms growing around you. We suggest that you play in as much as you can. People do like the traditions here. We'll tell you a secret. The place closest to Titania's castle, the settlement you'll run into, is called Gemhaven. And the tradition they have there is that if you're not wearing a special mask, they won't trust you.
What kind of special mask?
Well, they think that a person's physical face can lie, can be twisted by deceit and manipulation, but a mask is ever constant, and it allows one to always discern the true nature of an individual. I don't know, they're weird in Gemhaven. Just a bunch of weird, crusty Eladrin.
But not you guys. You guys are cool and hip and with it.
We're really cool.
You're fun guys.
Yeah! Hey, I like this guy.
Yeah.
Give me a charisma check.
Okay.
+1.
+1. Because of your fresh cut. Your fresh dew.
Yo, my fresh cut. Just hard charisma. Where is it? So it's a 15.
Okay. On a 15, Maiko says, I'll give you a little bit of an extra bit of information.
Oh.
I know what King Wongo really looks like.
I'm having something very distinct in my head, but go ahead. Explain.
One of our spores latched onto the red cap that delivered the mucus, and it grew inside of King Wongo's bog. King Wongo is a giant frog.
Oh, now we're talking. I thought it was a slime, but it's a frog.
Gallet, a little something clicks into your head. Ophelia is not fully grown, but you know that emperor frogs, one of their abilities, why they're called emperor frogs, is they can exert their will over like animals and creatures and like of the like. They're kind of the ruler of wherever they are, and they can control a lot of what goes on. If this King Wongo is some, whether it's an emperor frog or like an offshoot, it doesn't call itself an emperor, it calls itself a king. So perhaps king frog would be a more fitting nomenclature there. It likely has a similar effect of like being able to bend things to their will.
Huh. Maybe we should see King Wongo. That'd be actually kind of cool, right? King Wongo might be like Ophelia. They might know each other.
Cool, but
I mean, so far we've been done well by all frogs.
So if I'm to get this right, this Wongo guy is kind of an opponent of Titania, right?
He does occupy a place in the Unseelie Court, yes, which is opposed to Titania.
Right.
What if we just split up?
Yeah, this definitely
Now
seems like
there
the
is an
best
idea.
split up.
You know, technically, the pact was made with Ruby. If anything, really only Ruby needs to go to Titania.
Wow, we can split it like that. 3 of us go one way, 1 of us
All
go
of
the
us
other.
leave Ruby.
And the one person who can revivify goes somewhere else. That'd
Well-
be kind of sick.
Theoretically, I could. Not gonna. Yeah, that would be like the crazy split up if we did do 2 and 2, because like we are so far apart.
I feel like maybe not for the Feywild.
Yeah.
Maybe not. It seems high politics and intrigue may not be the part where we want to split.
Well, we're for sure gonna split up once we get to somewhere. Like,
Well, yeah, of
like,
course.
That's an inevitability, but
But I don't think we have it. It should okay. Team vote. Group goat vote. Do we
Good
want
vote.
to head to King Kwanga, which we have an easy trail towards?
Well, hold on. Before we vote, I do have a question. Do you have a sell for why we should, other than just could be cool? Because otherwise, maybe we stick to the
It could be
plan.
he said it could be an emperor frog. They're nice, and you might know Ophelia.
I mean, I think it would be interesting,
Potential
and we
ally?
shouldn't rule it out, but I am concerned that if we see another, self-proclaimed king before we see the queen who we have a deal with, I feel like she might take offense to that.
I don't
So I
know.
feel like we
Do you
should
think
see her
Titania
first,
is
hear what she has to
fickle?
say.
You know what? I don't think I've heard any kind of legend where Titania is fickle. All right.
Well, so
I'm
we
pretty
do.
sure she's kind and
Alright.
understanding to a
Okay.
fault.
Probably
It's
not,
also what I've
but
heard.
I do think that, I mean, it's interesting because we do need to find these masks, right? Like one for each of us. I don't know
Well,
how
we
we
can
go
just
about
make
that.
our own mask. Like, we
Ah.
don't really need.
Okay, I mean maybe.
I have a disguise kit right here. What do you want your freaking faces to look like? You know what? We might
Why
make
are
a
you,
little,
mad
like, a
about
little,
this?
make a little, like, break of it, where we just make our own masks as a little party.
Little crafting
Okay,
day.
that
So
could work.
crafting day.
I will say
If
though,
you require wood, you can take of me.
the giving tree.
He has a whole face. That's one down.
Ooh.
I
If
don't
anyone
know.
wants
You
to wear
can't
his
just
face.
take a
Yeah.
man's face.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Someone could say they're Vernon.
Okay, so we can make these masks. That's good. I do think another reason maybe we go to Wungo, is because if we are dealing with the queen and her court and yada yada crazy stuff, it typically would serve to have allies. Whether or not we need it, whether or not it's the right one. It doesn't hurt to have friends, just friends in general. So maybe we could make friends with them, and it would help.
Well, okay. So what's our? I guess we should decide on what's the plan on how we're dealing with talking to. Actually, everyone, let's move a little bit away from the tree that can eavesdrop on this. All right, so let's move a little bit. So what is our plan
Come
on
back!
here? Well, what's gosh? Well, we're talking. So what's the plan with this audience? So what did we get there? So what we need something from her, and also we have to do something from her. Do something for her.
See, how do we plan on getting the name or the land to bring with us? How do we plan on doing
Okay, so my thought process was, you know what? Sim was probably right. We probably should see her first and get the like she will give us a task, and
Mhm.
during this task we can do it while also gaining allies, seeing how we can scrounge up the present as well. Because I assume we won't get rewarded with anything because we owe her.
Yeah, so we're kind of just gonna go there, feel it out.
Yeah, we should go there, feel it out, be very kind, very courteous, very demure, and then
Very mindful.
Very demure.
Classic.
and then just on the way out, if we happen to make certain friends that can put political pressure, maybe see what's going on, maybe can go with the deed is actually worth way more than is actually worth kind of plan. The idea of making the land worth it sort of screwed up now, but since you have sending, I think there's a possibility to salvage it with the people we have left on the island. With Simon and Tink there, I think we can do something.
Well, and another thought that I had is, I mean, we need a name of a place from the Feywild, right, to bring into our plane, but it doesn't have to be the part of the Feywild that Titania rules, does it? It could be from the Gloaming Court, could it not?
It could, 100%.
So if it happens that Wungo is actually a good ally, maybe
we can get Wongo Land.
Another option.
possibly.
And I do think when we talked to Titania as well, we have 2 bargaining chips already. I think one is we killed Yeska, and I'm pretty sure Titania hated Yeska, like absolutely hated her. I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
So she doesn't automatically hate us.
Yeah, so we're at least on her good side to start, I think. And the second thing is, now this is a long shot, I don't know how it would work, but we could potentially offer them Gobland, because they probably want that land back. So that could
Crazy.
be cool. Just be like, let's
Oh
just like
my
offer them up.
God.
Because like we already got what we needed.
Wildly evil.
I don't think it's evil. I think the
God, what
goblins would love to be here. They did not look like they had the greatest life there in the middle of the ocean, just stranded.
God.
They were dancing and living their life, and it was just bringing them.
He became an elf
Wow.
for one day.
Wow. Oh god.
So,
You know,
what's the
it's-
plan? Will you continue on the road towards Gemhaven and attempt to make some masks? Or are you gonna go towards King Wongo now?
I like Gemhaven, get some masks, we can figure out what we need to do, and then we can explore the area a bit more. We can see if Titania's the one for us, maybe we move to the evil one, or the Wongo one, or maybe there's a 4th faction.
Yeah. How does the pathing work? Is it like a fork in the road, like one left goes one way, right goes the other? It's like directly away from each other.
I mean, they said something about based on what we want, so I think if we just all collectively agree as a group, we'll be doing decent.
Yeah, we'll get there quick.
Yeah, I think specifically Vernon, the old tree, can kind of open the path towards King Wongo. So the Summerwood kind of like will guide you towards where you need to end up within, the Summerlands. Like you said, wherever you want to go is kind of where you end up. But to get to the Gloaming Lands, you would have to kind of be guided there. A little bit. You are kind of crossing a threshold there, which Vernon can help you do, because King Wongo's influence extends this far now.
Okay, my vote was gonna be Wongo, but I think we should maybe try to learn more from people who aren't charmed by him. So,
I'm sorry, charmed?
enchanted?
Enchanted? Is he enchanted?
The tree? The tree
Yeah.
for us? Has this not been established? I thought.
I don't remember it being told.
Suma gathered that.
Oh, we were not told
from an
that?
Arcana check. I mean, he could have easily just given you the information, but up to you guys.
How much? Okay.
I probably would mention it.
Okay. That
Yeah,
seems like a bit.
that
That's
he
a
se-
big
that he seems to
decision
be
changer.
under the influence a little bit, magically. And I think coupled with your knowing about like how Emperor frogs work, like that kind of crosses the streams of like
Yeah.
All right, so maybe we just let's make our masks then. Let's just make our masks real quick then.
Sure. Yeah. You see, you're able to just hack away at some trees.
What makes a
and-
sound? Ah!
Yeah. Vernon goes, oof, oof. Good heavens, that's smart. Oh my. And it's just go, gee willikers. But
is he German now?
eventually you are able to get a couple like decently sized like chunks of like wood that you can carve masks out of. I would like to ask just a little exercise. What do you think your masks would look like? Michael impressed upon you that the mask is supposed to represent your true nature. So you can go wild with that if you like, or you can do whatever you like.
All right, for mine, I'm going to choose one that has somewhat like a raised eyebrow and like shifty eyes. He looks like someone that's like got something juicy to tell you. That they're maybe on the run. You don't know. It's someone you'd listen if they had some little whisper.
I think mine will probably be like physically elegant, but like with sort of a serious expression, like serious and kind of reserved a little bit.
I'm going to really play into it.
Yeah.
I think Alox would have like a very plain and boring just like design. Like the shape of it is
Mouth.
just like a normal like
Eye.
mask, yeah. But I think it would have like intricate details like within
Ooh.
engraved within it.
I think rubies would have lots of swirling patterns, lots of animation beneath. The colors would be maybe like, you know, the ones where it's like you see it a certain light, looks like a different color.
Ooh, yeah.
Good.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice.
Okay. And Suli. In Suli's mask, I think we're gonna go with, for funsies, sort of like a fox mask. Except kind of like split down the middle, and on one half there'll be sort of like designs evocative of the sun, and on the other side, sort of carvings and designs evocative of the moon. I think is what we're gonna go with.
And
listen, she's 16, she's a teenager.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
No,
but
no,
it's what they
don't
do.
get me wrong.
It's the face.
Me
She's in her
too.
Tumblr phase.
I had one. I remember it.
She's in her DeviantArt era.
I want to make it clear. I understand her.
You get it. Also because I wanted someone to have an animal type mask, 'cause I think those are cool.
Sure.
Cool. You guys walk away, and I think Vernon's like, "Oh, don't you guys look absolutely fetching? Well, anytime you ever want to come back and take us up on that offer, the path to King Wongo is open to all those with a kind heart and an open mind. Also, I'm not just this one tree. I'm like a lot of the trees here. My roots spread very far, and they have themselves sprouted into other trees, so I'm never too far away." And you see Michael goes,
Wonderful to hear.
"We're also a lot of places. We could have spores in your hair and you wouldn't know."
Oh, okay.
You could be breathing us in, and you wouldn't know.
"We're inside of all of you.
That's comforting.
God.
Okay.
See you soon." And you see the mushrooms go quiet.
That was a Feywild.
Why is Michael my favorite?
Yeah, my goal for this is that every NPC is fucking weird. Because they don't need to be. They can all be silly, weird people. You guys move forward. You walk along the path, and sort of as described, the road beneath you seems to almost move underneath, spiriting you off along on this winding trail throughout the wood. And though it was dark inside the wood, when you emerge out into this kind of like grassy plain, it is all of a sudden daylight again, as if. And I think maybe Suli, curious, steps back and forth between like where the woods were and where the grassy plain begins, and you see her sunlit in moonlight, as she like walks between them, and then eventually she goes, "Oh, that's curious." And now that you are in sort of like the summer wood is basically sort of like a long border that exists at every border between the Summerlands and anywhere else. So whenever you are crossing from a different plane into the Summerlands or from somewhere else in the Feywild into the Summerlands, you pass through the Summerwood regardless of your like spatial orientation. It is kind of always sort of the barrier. You enter into this grassy plain and it's vast, and you see Gemhaven ahead of you. It sinks into this little like valley, almost like a massive quarry. And you see large jutting gemstones coming up out of the ground at odd angles. You see every single conceivable color reflected in crystal, growing in clusters. You see, bright amethysts and emeralds, and yes, even a bunch of rubies there. Even though rubies don't grow in like sharp crystals, they're like more like circular, I think. But they're everywhere. All these different like gemstones, and they catch the glittering warm summer sunlight and kind of like send like beams refracting out in all these different colors. It seems like an absolute party. You walk in and you see that Gemhaven seems to be in the midst of some kind of carnival. There is music in the air. People are laughing and running around in the streets. There's like kind of like games being held. There's some shows taking place. You walk forward and at sort of like the gate, sort of the entrance, this little valley, at the choke point there's a small little like security kind of set up, and you see two figures. They are so beautiful. They're incredibly beautiful, like Eladrin soldiers. One of them with like long flowing violet hair, and the other one with like kind of like short like curly hair. They're wearing like this dazzling like light silver armor that kind of catches the light, and you see each of them. Everyone give me a history check to see how much you know about Eladrin in general.
They're like pirates, right?
Oh my god, you have an 11 to history? That's crazy.
I'm so sorry.
Wow, okay. These are interesting rolls. This is kind of almost like an inversion. Ruby, I'm trying to think of why Ruby might know this. Maybe once upon a time in Copra, you heard stories about the Feywild and about the Eladrin. I want to say, actually, Ruby, on a 23 history, while you lived in Palea, you heard sort of like a legend or a story that somewhere in the world, scattered amongst the plains, there is a place where gems of all shapes, sizes, and colors exist. Because Palea was this very regimented place where, like, in Copra, there are only copper veins. In Tora, there's only stone. In Bronos, there is only bronze, which is actually copper and tin, but whatever. We'll say bronze is a thing that you can mine there. So there was legend of a place where, outside of Palea, where there is an abundance of beautiful gemstones growing sort of like everywhere, as common as granite, as common as like a pebble. And you've heard stories that the people there were these extremely beautiful, unpredictable creatures full of magic, each of them sort of associated with one of the four seasons. And I think Galeth, that's what you kind of heard. You know, like Eladrin, maybe like there was a famous pirate once upon a time that was an Eladrin. We'll say they were Fiero of the Autumn Wind. That's what their name was. Fiero. And they were known for their hair, which was the color that leaves would change to in the autumn. Wherever they were, like their hair would be kind of like a mixture of like reds and like browns and like pale yellows. That would kind of like morph and change as it went down his ponytail or something like that. So you guys know that that Eladrin are sort of associated with one of the four seasons, and that just like the Feywild itself, their physical appearance is dictated somewhat or influenced by their own emotions, and they can change between seasons depending on their emotional state. The two in front of you currently, the one with the sort of amethyst colored hair, is sort of in the season of winter. They seem a little bit dour, a little bit serious, a little bit contemplative. And the other one is a little bit more of an autumn as well. The winter Eladrin stops you and says, "Halt. I see you are of at least passing knowledge of this place's customs." And you see she's wearing a mask that is inlaid with amethyst stones, that has like a little bit of a frowny face carved into it, like a theater mask. And she says, "What business have you here in Gemhaven, mortals?"
It's a stopway for us. We're on our way to see someone of great import.
Someone of great import.
Yes,
Will you elaborate?
I could go greatly into my elaboration of who this would be and how important they are. I could elaborate for 5 whole days, if necessary, to impart upon you
And you will too.
just how great they are and how dire these circumstances are. For you see, this person of great renown is known by many names. So for me to say one might be confusing to you. Because
Well, as
you
it so
might-
happens, we have time for you to say all of them.
oh, we have 5 days. Oh, but how would I take your time? There are so many mortals that come and go. I would not dare to get in the way of progress. How about I give you... No, I can't say that because it's the Feywild, huh?
I like tap Gallet's shoulder.
What? I'm trying to get into character
Gallet,
here. What is it?
What is happening? What are you doing?
I don't know. I
This
don't
is
know.
Totally unnecessary.
I
feel
know,
like
the
you
mask-
may have just put us in a really bad position for no
The mask
reason.
got me feeling strange, alright? The mask
Okay.
got me feeling strange.
God, I'm
Well,
acting
it's
different.
weird that you say that because the mask is literally meant to represent you, so I don't know why you feel any different. You should feel like
Alright.
you.
Yeah, we're trying to talk to Tanya.
Okay.
The Queen Titania. You have an audience with Queen Titania.
With many other names.
Yes, of course. I'm well aware of her many, many other names.
Please go on.
And in fact,
Let's hear from you.
yes. Which one is your favorite?
The one that evokes the feeling of winter, if you know the one I'm thinking.
Oh, that's my favorite too. Well, all of this seems in order. You seem to be relatively harmless. You have come with the masks of the Summerwood. I have but one question. There have been strange happenings here in Gemhaven as of late. Our traditional masks have... Someone is going around breaking them while we sleep. Do you happen to know anything, any suspicious creatures lurking about in the Summerwood? We are afeared that perhaps it is, a gang of redcaps seeking to do mischief.
I've got nothing. Maybe investigate Philip.
Philip,
Yeah.
the donkey that lives in Summerwood,
I heard he was a unicorn now.
a unicorn now.
Yes.
My.
Very powerful hooves is all I'm saying.
You see, the gentleman next to her, the Autumn Eladrin, goes, "Well, at least somebody around here is getting a raise or a promotion. Donkey to unicorn, and that's pretty big." And you see, the Winter One says, "Very well. I just ask that you respect if you see anyone who has a mask that is damaged, do not speak to them. They may lead you astray.
Of course.
As well, take care not to cause any action to cause damage to anyone else's mask. It is quite an incredibly traumatizing thing to have happen here in Gemhaven. We do have one... Yes.
And if someone doesn't have a mask,
Kill them on sight.
rightio.
Those are the rules.
Okay. Didn't know them, but it's good to know now. Thank you.
Even
You're
if
doing
they
your
course.
job well, guard.
Of course, you must first ask them if they are endeavoring to replace their mask.
Oh.
You know, but
And
most
then-
people who
And
have the
in case
masks...
if we don't speak the same language, how would we confirm?
Well, you know, sort of do a charades type situation.
Could you give me an example?
You know, like,
That makes sense.
something like
Yeah,
that.
you know, honestly, that does really get it across. Thank you. Masked individual, guard.
My name is Amethyst.
Ah, okay, amethyst. Amethyst.
Ooh, man, we're gonna ask a lot of names. I wonder how many gems we have ready.
Amethyst.
This is my friend Chalcedony.
Chalcedony. You're gonna get that promotion someday, Chalcedony.
Why, thank you. I think so as well. I myself have not had my mask broken, so unlike some of these other
Someone's
people.
doing their
You
job.
know, speaking
Yes,
of
yes.
which, I'm kind of curious. So you said that the masks are being broken. Are they being broken within the city?
Yes, everyone here in Gemhaven keeps their masks on at all times, only ever taking them off in the safety of their own homes, usually before they sleep.
And
It
before
would
brushing their
appear,
teeth.
well, a lot of people have sort of like mask holes for like their mouth.
Oh,
and stuff.
I don't like that.
So
I
you
don't
can-
like that term.
So you
I
can
don't
really
like
get
that
in
term.
the mask holes.
I don't like. I didn't mean.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't think about the mask hole. We don't have
Remember,
mask
brush
holes.
your mask holes.
I made mine. I think Gal just forgot.
You made your mask hole?
I think we all did. I think you just are the only one that didn't actually.
Well, I
But yeah,
didn't
otherwise it'd be difficult to speak, you know. So no, it's a sort of natural thing to have a mask hole.
So,
think-
how might you protect yourself from this? Is there any way? Like from someone breaking it?
Well, no one in Gemhaven would ever think to break anyone else's mask. It is tantamount to, I mean, it's unthinkable. It is the greatest taboo that we have. Luckily, we do have someone in employ who, you know, can repair them, although she's had so many orders in the past couple of days that she's absolutely swamped. But should you ever happen to suffer such a thing, you should ask after a woman named Quartz.
Mask repair.
She's also the one tasked with crafting new masks for young ones and such. Those born here, or for newborn that some of our more mischievous types like to steal in bargains from mortals and such.
Oh, of course. Normal.
Yes, well, gotta have new blood somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
You haven't done that, have you? Have you, good Amethyst?
Oh, no. That's more of like a pixie thing to do. Us Eladrin are a bit more... I don't know. Life is dark and full of sadness, and to have to watch over another, I couldn't imagine it. It's hard enough being oneself.
How does that make you feel, Alok? Does that move you?
Yeah. Yes. Whoa.
I'm just seeing how much the bloodline has progressed.
Okay.
That was beautiful. Sorry.
Sorry,
Nothing.
just felt very targeted there.
Well, No one's gonna talk poems.
Right, well, you guys are free to go. Be aware that we are having a carnival as of the current moment. Queen Titania herself is celebrating the defeat of some foe or another that she, I don't know, something good has happened on her side, and she is hosting a carnival. If you are aching for a meeting with her, I do believe that she is rather indisposed until the carnival is over. Now, the carnivals here in the Feywild, as I assume you likely have not been here before, can last anywhere between 2 hours to 4 centuries. So, with any luck, it'll be done promptly at a good time for you to have your meeting. But otherwise, have fun. And you see she steps aside and sort of the gates open, and you see let me actually change the music for this.
Hey Tim, how much time do you think will pass in 4 centuries on our side? A bit? You think a bit?
At that point, we should just stay here. I feel like it's gonna take 4
This
centuries.
is the campaign now.
I hate to think.
You know, the Red Wraith can't get in here, right? So...
I bet that he couldn't, personally, but I don't know. Well,
I don't see any
is there
water.
ocean in the Feywild? Interesting question.
If you take all the land out of the Feywild with the names.
What if we just take all the land out of our world and put it in the Feywild?
No, we just...
It won't cause any
Settlers.
Over there!
You enter in to Gemhaven, and amidst the scintillating light of the sun, reflecting off of a bunch of like crystals shining everywhere, like a million disco balls in every direction, kind of like throwing light on, like modeling sort of the ground everywhere. You see there is like a long convoy of like wagons that run down the valley, and there are like colorful tents and booths set up everywhere. You see giant butterflies flying around and people sort of riding on them. You see kind of like drunk Eladrin like riding the butterflies as if they were like a horse. They're like the Yumbats here, basically. You see like a sign of like a big Eladrin kind of like doing this. It says, "Welcome to the Gemhaven Carnival." And he comes to life and he goes, "Welcome! You guys are new. Please proceed to the ticket booth for a ticket. It's good for as long as the carnival is open, which can be anywhere between 2 hours and 4 centuries. No refunds." You see people kind of like running around. You see there's like a big stage where like a bunch of like satyrs are like dancing around on their cloven hooves, playing like lyres and lutes and like a beautiful symphony. You see a couple of like mortals walking around with various states of donkeyification. But even the ones with like donkey heads have a little donkey mask kind of going over them. You see a bunch of like clowns, like red caps. Red caps are like short, stubby, almost like gnome-like fey beings with like little red hats, but these ones are like dressed up with like shitty clown makeup that's like just white splotchy all over their faces, and their noses are not like they have been magically enchanted to grow and become red, and they're dancing around like juggling bowling pins that don't even exist in this setting. You walk in and there's a lot of little sights to see, but first and foremost there is the ticket booth. You guys walk up, and you see a masked individual with deep, sort of like blue skin look up at you guys. They're kind of like short in stature, almost like childlike, and they look up at you, like tented fingers, and they go, "Welcome. You would like a ticket?
Tickets,
Yes,
plural.
please.
Uh-huh.
What will you pay?"
What do you accept?
What is the price?
You take card?
"I take pact."
Oh boy.
We actually have a friend who's in a pact.
Hey.
Oh, really?
You could offer
Yeah.
that
Can you
pact.
have
So-
2 packs?
I haven't talked to her recently. I don't know if she's okay with that. Is there anything we can do that doesn't require a pact, perhaps?
20 million gold.
Okay.
Otherwise packed.
Alright. I bring out 2 gold and see how that fares me.
Nice gold. You are short 1,999,998 gold each person.
I bring...
Nikolai, very good at job. Do not let people in without ticket. Must pay or make pact.
Well, so when you say
Cleans their
a
nails.
pact, what exactly
Well,
do we mean by a pact? What does it entail?
Oh, you know, fun stuff.
Okay.
Only
I
little
don't know.
silly thing. Mortal's so anxious all time. Stop being like that. Have fun. It's
Oh.
carnival.
I am having fun. I think gathering information is the most fun thing you can do, which is what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
Okay. Well, for example, pact. Whatever Nikolai think is fun for you.
So you get
And
to
is this
decide.
in good
Do
faith
you like
from
to
Nikolai?
dance? Do you like to
Who are they
dance?
asking?
Information gatherer guy.
Okay. Not necessarily.
No?
No.
Okay, you make pact with Nikolai.
What if I make this pact and you make me dance, which I really don't want to do, but if you do this, could that count for all 4 of us? Because I feel like that is that drastic of...
No, one pact, one ticket. One pact. You make pact, I let you in, but every time someone say your name, you dance.
It says my name.
Every time.
That works. 'Cause I go
And
by a lot of
you
names.
hear it, and you hear it. So not like random person say
Okay.
name.
That'd be really funny.
Do a little jig. Do practice.
Okay. I could figure this out.
You know, it
I
doesn't
could
seem
do a
like that bad of a
little,
deal.
Yeah, okay. That was a cool dance. I think I could do that. You know
No,
what?
once more with feeling.
Ah,
Okay, we'll work on
that's
that.
as much as I can do.
He'll get
Okay.
better the more he does.
You know what? I think as far as Fae packs can go, this one is a little bit more fun, and it's gonna force me out of my comfort zone. So, you know what? Yeah, sure.
Wow,
I think
yeah,
that's-
this
I
is
think
a
I'm
new
fine.
A-lock.
Nikolai, like cut off your jib? You make pact now, yes?
That sounds like a horrible idea. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. You see, you take Nikolai's hand, and you feel a little whoosh of magics. And as actually you grab Nikolai's hand, and Nikolai does this, and it
Hey,
makes
and
your
then
hand
yeah.
do the wave all the way
Whoa.
out. Alok, from now on until this pact is over, anytime any person says your name and you hear it, you must do a little dance.
Okay. I turn to the group. Guys, whenever we meet anyone new,
Yes,
we
A-lock?
introduce who we... Anytime we meet someone new, we tell them my name is Oluk, or one of my variations.
Oh, you're not gonna
And
get
don't say my
Addy.
name anymore. You guys literally just heard the pact happen. That is not fair.
A-lock,
usually
I've
say-
got your back.
Ah!
She says, "Don't worry, Alok. We'll try not to." Oh, and then just
Like crying while doing it.
High five.
okay. Who
Wait,
next?
Wait, question, Nikolai.
Yes.
When does the pact end?
And when carnival end?
Oh, so potentially 4 centuries.
Maybe no one knows.
Well, you can go first, Suli. A
Oh.
second. Have fun.
She walks forward, and Nikolai says, hello, you make a pact? She says, can I hear the terms of the pact first? You see Nikolai look at her and he says, you like flour? Like for baking? No, grow from ground. And you see, she says, oh yes, flowers. I adore them. And you see, he says, okay, your hair flowers. Oh, flowers in my hair. Something like that. And you see, she says, all right, sure. And you see, she takes his hand and flowers grow out of her head. It doesn't seem to cause her any like distress or harm, but like now there's just literal flowers, like a flower crown on her head, but like literally growing out of her scalp as if hair follicles. She goes, oh, that's interesting. You see Nikolai says, yes, water every 30 minutes or you die. And you see she says, I die? Will the flowers birth? And she says, all right.
That's a way harsher punishment, by the way.
Yeah, I honestly felt like she got off.
Takes a little watering can and gives it to her. And she goes, first one free. And she just waters the
Oh
flowers.
no, I have to pay for carnival water. Oh god.
Stands up again.
Oh no.
We're gonna be poor.
And she just slides the watering can there and goes, the next one, please.
I don't want to do this.
That's the
It's my
actual
favorite-
punishment is paying for the water.
It's my favorite character I've ever played.
Really? No one
Next.
else?
I think
Come
Ruby's gotta go.
Go. Someone.
Yeah, oh, Ruby, yeah.
I
yeah,
want to
Ruby,
see
go.
Ruby's really bad.
What do you want?
Okay. You say that very rude. You, every time you talk to someone, give them compliment first.
Oh. Oh, that's just nice.
That's the best one.
Hmm. For the first time, right? Not like continuously.
It'll be like a back and forth conversation. You have to say it every time.
Every time you start conversation or someone enters conversation with you that you have not complimented already. But like if you talk to somebody and then 10 minutes pass and you talk to them again, compliment.
Every 10 minutes? Is that the rule?
No, just like new conversation. So if conversation die down, for example, if you're talking to Flowerhead and then later talk to her again, new compliment, say her flower looks nice, that's a free one. Or if you're talking to Flowerhead and Ayla comes by.
Question. Does
Yes.
she need variety? It can't just be the same compliment for everyone, right?
Yes, different compliment.
A personal one, I think. It should really mean something.
Yeah.
No.
One that requires thought.
Yeah.
Good
I'm
input, A-Lock.
Do it. Let's do it.
I'm loving
Okay. Make pact, yes.
Yeah.
Good shit. Okay.
Oh god.
Which one next?
So what kind of pact did you make with me? Could it have been this light? This is a bit light.
Why you talk to hand?
But someone has to.
Are you saying talk to hand?
To
Rude.
myself. That what? Alright, I've ruined my chance. Sima, go.
Talking to yourself? I don't think so.
Sima, go.
Okay, your pact. You must not tell lie.
That's super Sima, right?
No, for you, hand talker.
I can't say lie. But what about? Well, no. The more I specify, the worse it gets. Okay, you know what? I can do it. I can do it. Yeah.
Cannot
Yeah.
knowingly tell lies. Look, if you say something wrong on accident, that's okay.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. All right, last one. Will you make pact?
What have you got?
I'm trying to think of the funniest possible thing. Make
Catchphrase?
pact, your accent change.
Oh.
All right.
I'll let you pick.
Well, I think it's gotta be like this.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Hell yeah. Oh, it's
That's
so
it.
good. It's so
I'm
good.
going Leghorn.
You all, Suma, you make the pact. You see Celia goes, wow, I did not know you could do that voice. I'm not sure if it's the magic pact or if you could always do that voice.
Well, I'm sure I couldn't tell you. I don't know myself, but it'll be interesting, that's for sure. Can't wait to talk to
Okay.
Titania like this.
Well, that will be after the carnival's over, so you wouldn't have to.
True enough.
Or keep it. That'd be fun. Okay. I think you guys are given a little ticket stub that says admit one. And it flickers over to you and kind of like melds to your skin. And you are free to roam the carnival as you please, as you kill time waiting for Titania to be ready to meet you. There are gonna be lots of little shenanigans here, lots of attractions to see, rides to ride. There's you can get a ride on one of those butterflies later if you want to. But I think for now, we're gonna call the session there at your making of your pacts and your entrance.
Wait, hold on.
Carnival.
Before we end it, one more time, A-Lock. Alright.
It's gonna be. I'm not gonna remember every time.
But we'll know. We'll know
Yeah.
he's dancing. In our
Yeah.
hearts, we'll know he's dancing. And yeah, I think we're gonna end the session there with you guys entering into a carnival, a place of merrymaking and joy, free from troubles, free from darkness and despair. And we'll catch back up next week. I'm excited. We did sort of like a carnival once, but not really, with the trials and in Gallon. But it wasn't like a prop. No, I remember you guys got a big stuffed toy. There was that. There was
yeah.
that. There was
We
like
did
a
get the big
literal.
bear, yeah.
You guys did get a big bear. But this one is a little bit of a Feywild
So
twist to it.
Any-
Yeah.
So did we level up?
No, unfortunately.
We didn't do enough. Are you sure? I feel like we went through a lot. This felt like a whole
Yeah,
5
I don't know. You guys had to interact
we
with a
had to make
tree
a pact.
and some mushrooms.
Yeah.
The pact. I wanted you guys to. I just wanted something silly to happen.
Yeah.
I guess. A little bit of an extra rub. To make this carnival a bit more fun. But yeah, this is gonna be the vibe of the Feywild for now.
I like it.
For this foreseeable future. A little bit of whimsy, a little bit of silliness, and who knows what else? Who knows who's breaking these masks and what King Wungo is actually
Mystery.
up to. But yeah, I wanted to. I don't know. I feel like we didn't do a lot with the Emperor Frogs as I had initially intended when I came up with them, and now we're gonna get to dig a little bit into what they are and what they can do. Yeah, this was a nice, really lighthearted, role play session. Next session, I think probably maybe half of it will be doing fun carnival stuff with whatever weird, fucked up Feywild twist is going to be part of that, and perhaps gathering information. So think about what kind of attractions you guys might want to see. There's a carousel. There's a clown show. There's a big top circus tent. There's a hall of illusions. There's mirrors and stuff. You guys might want to check out. It's up to you guys. But yes, so I think my sort of, unless things spiral way out of control for whatever reason, next session would be like doing some circus stuff and beating Titania at the end. But yeah. How do you guys feel?
I have a question. Actually.
Yeah.
I didn't want to earlier, but Alok was interested in the mask quest. He would have asked who to talk to if they figure anything out.
Oh, I think Amethyst would have just said to come back to either to talk to any person in armor, or specifically if you want a familiar face to go back to her, because she's going to be manning that security station for the length of the carnival.
Okay.
Which is perhaps why she's so dour, because she can't participate in the carnival at all.
Oh, that's sad.
You answered.
Whereas Chalcedony kind of is thinking that taking this post will help him get a raise or a promotion or something.
He needs
But
one.
yeah, this is the vibe. This is the vibe.
I
Nice
wanted
to
to lie
be
so
a
much.
chill
I had plans for lies, and now I can't lie.
Tee.
Hee hee.
Yeah, some of it
Why
is
does
like
Alok get the best one?
Just easily not the best one.
it's the one Alok would hate the most probably.
Yeah.
Alok would
he'd
have
have-
loved rubies. That's like such an easy one.
For
What,
Alok.
seriously?
Yeah, he can give yes, it's not hard to give compliments.
Hey, good looking. You just throw one of those up.
Well, Yale's probably wouldn't do that, but yeah, I think Alok would like that most in line.
Hey, let's look on the bright side, though. We're not gonna die in 30 minutes if we don't get water.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the worst. That one.
Yeah, that one
Beyond
does
everything,
actually have danger.
I stand behind that one being the worst just because of the water prices at the carnival.
Well,
That is,
we
like,
have to also
devious.
keep in mind that means she can't sleep.
Oh,
Oh.
30-minute intervals?
The flowers sleep at night too.
Yeah, but it still needs to be watered.
No. You don't eat food at night when you're sleeping.
Look, I trust the words of the pact. He said 30 minutes. I wouldn't risk it.
I mean,
I'm
we
also looking
still need
forward to.
sprinkler.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Viv could get a sprinkler, or like probably here it would be like a floating cloud over your head that rains on you or something.
That
That'd be
doesn't
sick.
make it any better for that to be your new living situation.
I mean, she also trances. It's not hard to wake up in one, like from a trance, and then water, sleep, 30.
I'll tell you what I'm the most looking forward to is Southern Sumo.
Yeah, that's a good
Southern
one.
Sumo
I
is
gotta
gonna
practice the next 2
It's
weeks.
gonna be so funny.
I want
I
flowery
can't-
language from the southern accent.
The Palayan coming out.
It is the plane coming out. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I think that's probably true because that's probably the other accent that he was most familiar with.
Yeah.
I want you to have a very important close talk with your daughter with that accent.
Well,
We gotta get
that's
you some
up to
water,
Chino
see?
now, isn't it? Yeah, we gotta.
I
gotta
care
get
for you
a sprinkler.
deeply.
I remember what your mama said one day. The day you were born.
That's right. I'm gonna be practicing until the next session.
This
I
is
can
so
just
funny.
Feel it.
Only because you're a DM. I would never voice this on someone normally, but I'm like, I know you have more than one voice. I know you can do it. So I'm going to.
Yeah. The problem with the southern one is that it's contagious and it's hard to stop it. So I feel like once the carnival is over, I'm not gonna be able to stop
You're
it.
gonna
Long
forget.
lasting damage.
You know, they say that the southern accent was actually a corruption of the British accent.
Yeah,
That
it's
happened.
like, isn't it like a slowed down sort of tempo of the
Yeah,
British
like a
accent?
slurred,
I've
yeah.
heard that. Yeah.
And
And if you
that's
play
where it
them at like the
originated.
same, if you play it like sped up, it like sounds like British accent or something like.
Yeah.
a
So
recording.
you know, there's a lot of logic, internal logic here.
That's true.
Yeah. Hell yeah! This was nice
Yeah.
and light. I wanted a bit of a breather from the serious dramatic arcs we've been doing, and I'm hoping this will be it. Even King Wongo is a big frog, so even if he ends up being a baddie.
Yeah, in
Yeah, this is
Bloomland.
nice.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, what's he doing over there? I don't know.
Why didn't no one warn me about the mask holes?
The mask
What?
holes?
Uh,
I
Is it-
feel like someone should have said something.
Is it just that you don't like that they're called mask holes?
It's that. It's just that.
I see.
Like, it's,
No,
it has to have a
never mind.
I
better
mean,
name.
Gallus
Would
is
you
making
for-
a fashion statement. So.
Would you prefer like mask orifice? Would that be better?
I was gonna say orifice. Is that better?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Mask hole, it would make sense for that to be the name, but it also makes sense for me to not like it.
Okay.
Garrett, why don't you just shut your mask hole?
That's
Wow.
so good.
Interesting
That's
arc
not
out
something
of
I'd really
this.
say.
This is gonna be fun. The temptation to prolong this carnival thing as long as possible, for you guys to be stuck like this.
Session 128.
Still at the carnival. A century has passed.
Don't worry. It will all, and then, yeah, and everyone stays the same. No one could change. Oh. By then, Alok would be really, like, breaking it down, I
Well,
feel.
I think by then, Alok would have forgotten his name because he'd be so adamant that no one says his name that he would just have forgotten what it actually is. He'd use so many
I
other
gotta
names.
have a new name for you.
Oh no.
A Pop and Lock.
Yeah.
Wait, that's perfect. Call me that, please, because then I know I have to dance.
Well, but then it wouldn't work because you wouldn't be dancing. So you have to say A Pop and Lock Alok to
Mm.
really
I feel
get
like that's
it
not my
working.
name still. That's like two.
There's a period.
Okay, that's fair.
Hey, Alok, don't call me Alok.
Sincerely, the formerly known as Alok.
Yeah, the rogue formerly known.
People say that milkman, do I start dancing?
Oh, that's true.
Ooh, I would say it's whatever name you consider to be referring to you. It's probably something like kind of like magical that way, where it's like if you would instinctively respond to that, then
Hey,
yes.
Oh,
Hey,
what's
quiet
that?
kid in the corner. Quiet kid in
Oh
the
no!
corner.
Oh no!
Oh
So, like,
no.
I
classic
would
name.
actually say that like your aliases would count,
Yeah.
but like a nickname like the milkman that you don't necessarily identify with
Yeah,
wouldn't.
that makes sense.
I need some milk, man. And someone just really starts tearing it up.
He starts breakdancing for some reason.
Oh, wait, does that mean everyone else is gonna be, like, have that one weird thing?
Oh, like all the NPCs and stuff.
Yeah, like,
Have the pact.
yeah, just like someone just
Oh,
starts,
And
yeah.
it keeps getting more absurd.
yeah.
That's gonna be good.
Have fun thinking of what those are gonna be.
Yeah,
Every-
that's great.
Every
Make, like,
single
a list of
time
them.
that you make eye contact with someone, they have to do the limbo.
Mm.
Ooh,
Car-
I like
Their,
that.
their spine is hurting.
Yeah. Also, whenever
Uh.
we say break it down, but whenever Alok has to do his dance, it's gonna be one variation of just a horrible dance. Like it's never gonna be good. Like I'm doing this, but it's gonna be something. It's actually something stupid like that, and he's doing a different one every time. But it never looks good.
Yeah, I kind of love that. I kind of love that. Because it's not like you are magically compelled to do these
Mhm.
things. You're not like choosing to do it to maintain the pact. You have to do it
Mhm.
so long as you are here, which I love.
Oh,
God.
question about the no lies pact.
Yes.
When it says no lie, does that mean prior Alright, so I understand the concept of not lying. So, but that doesn't mean I have to tell the truth if someone asks me on an issue. I could just not lie.
That is true.
Okay. Very different.
Technically, you can lie by omission or say something misleading.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I just one is I have to be truthful, and the other's I can't lie. I just wanted
You
to
cannot tell a
determine.
lie knowingly. You could also like instruct somebody else to lie for you.
Oh, yeah,
it's not
no,
necessarily you telling a lie.
Don't worry, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I won't lie.
Okay. I thought that'd be fun for Gallet specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're go. Yeah, no, it's. It's not. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. My
Guys, we should
rumor
write down
mill will
questions.
continue.
We should write down questions we have for him and just like.
I will.
Let's go.
I will just stonewall.
We'll figure
Yeah,
out
I
that.
guess you're basically and pretend that you are the entire carnival is a zone of truth, and you failed to save.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Cool. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Sweet.
It's fun.
It was
I
fun.
I love
am excited to keep going with this. Yeah, the real temptation to drag this out, but we got places to go.
Understandably.
One more session of funsies. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe one more.
True. You guys have earned your characters have earned it. I think
Yeah.
your characters have earned some just like dicking around and like bonding. I also thought it would be cute to have like Suma and Suli like bond over like taking your kid to the fair type thing.
Well, that's gonna be my vibe for next time. Is just
Yeah, it's like, where do you want to go? Okay, I'll buy you the fucking thing. Like,
I'll get you the thermos of water for your hat.
like it's always so like the people that come by taking pictures of you and they cost like $40 or whatever, and you're like, all right, but they put it in a frame, so
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm going all out with the. I have a lot of time to make up for, so I'm.
What about
Anything
us?
she wants to
You gonna
do.
ditch us for your kid?
Well, that's not to say you can't come with us. Sorry. You can come with us if you want.
This is hurting my feelings if I get ditched. That's all I'll say.
All right, well,
wow,
come
and
along.
that's truthful, and you know that's truthful.
Come along, man, Gallet. Keep up.
Yeah.
Bye, Ella.
Incredible. All right, thanks guys for a wonderful session. I'll see you
Bye-bye.
next time around.
Guys.
Bye.
Oh, thank God, it works out perfectly. Actually, I'm going to Japan next week, so I'm not going to
Oh,
be
that's
next week.
awesome. Good for you.
But we don't have a session anyway.
Congrats.
Yeah. It's my cousin's wedding, so I'm going to that.
Oh,
Ooh.
congratulations.
How fun.
But if anyone has been and has any suggestions, I've never been.
Me neither, but
Yeah.
how a wonderful time.
Imagine leaving your state. Cringe, really.
I know, right?
My main thing I want to see right now is like they have like, the temples where like the deer are there,
Yeah.
and there's like deer that just
Oh,
walk
yeah.
around. I kind of want to see
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
I don't know how close it'll be to where I'm gonna be staying, but we'll figure it out. But yeah,
Awesome.
next session on the 5th of March, I believe.
Mhm.
Alright.
Let me know if that is a good time for everybody in case anything comes up. But if not, I'll see you then. Bye, guys.
ya.
Again,
Wow.
boy.